Fritz and this program are building paramount today.
Houston won the toss. They elected to defer, so Baylor will receive as it goes over the shoulder of Cole Wilson. And Sawyer Robertson, the senior from Lubbock, Texas, takes the field here at McLean Stadium for the last time. The good, he leads FBS in passing yards, tied for the most passing touchdowns with Indiana's Fernando Mendoza. The bad, for the second straight game, multiple picks, including a pick six.
That ground game going to be important, and we expect him to factor into that. We saw a little QB run in Tucson last week, and I'd be stunned if that doesn't make its way to Waco here on Senior Day.
An elite uniform matchup. Looks great here in Waco on the final game of the regular season. Baylor begins with a Bryson Washington barge up for 10 yards and a first down at the 36. Eddie Walls the third, senior defensive lineman with the tackle.
And you're going to see Matthew Kloffenstein at tight end, number 85, in line a lot more today than Trigg, who's usually split out.
Back-to-back carries. And Baylor's so desperate for a running game. For the second week in a row, Jake Spavital told us, we've got to find a way to run the rock. And so as not to put all the pressure on our senior quarterback, Washington's slow to get up after his second totes. Sophomore from Franklin, Texas, who last year rushed for over 1,000, closing in on 800 this season, attending to his right leg.
Boy, I hate to see that for this backfield after back-to-back assertive runs. See right here if we can see anything. You see that right leg getting rolled up on by a couple of Houston tacklers, walking off with some help right now, not putting a lot of weight on that right leg. So not a great sign for Baylor in drive one already.
Well, next in line is the four-star freshman Caden Knighton. He's giving them a jolt. He brings some juice, and he's refined his rushing lanes in the second half of this season, much to Baylor's benefit. It's Cole Wilson in motion. This time the run game shut down from the edge. Brandon Mack. He's a junior jack linebacker out on that edge.
And this becomes the area they'll miss Bryson Washington the most. Third down pass protection for a freshman running back. One of the areas you always worry about. Is he going to be able to find where he fits into the protection scheme for this team?
Baylor Bears have opened the day with 3 straight handoffs, make it 4. Knighton trapped behind the line, and the Cougs swarm it for a loss. Kentrell Webb led the way. It's 4th down, and Baylor will punt.
Motion Kloffenstein into the box and try for that kick out, but great job up front by Miles Parker, just blowing it up. Penetration kills the run game. It throws off the timing of all that backfield action, and so now Knighton's got to stammer his feet in the backfield, and they force the punt here. Great opening stanza by Austin Armstrong, the defensive coordinator, and his group.
The strength of this Baylor team, the punting game. Kai Muse signals fair catch. And Houston has its first possession from the 18-yard line, a 43-yard punt. The junior from Cypress, Texas, Connor Wigman, has multiple touchdown passes in 3 straight games, but as we documented off the top, 15 carries for 114 yards last week, a career-high rushing total.
We know they can get it done on the ground. They've got to take care of the football. 9 turnovers in their last 3 games after just 4 in their first 8. These possessions too precious to be giving up the football, and being able to keep it in the hands of your quarterback in the run game. Great way to do that.
Houston defense surrenders only a first down. And the first opportunity for Connor Wigman begins from inside his 20. The handoff to Dean Connors, who captures the edge and spills off a Tyler Turner tackle for about half the chains. Dean Connors, a senior and a 4-star transfer from Rice. He is 6th in the Big 12 in rushing yards.
And a really versatile back when you look at what he can do out of the backfield. 25 consecutive games with a reception, and some highlight reel worthy ones at that.
They gave him 6 on the first carry. Here's Amari Thomas in motion. Back to Connors, who drills above the 25. It'll be 3rd down and short. An improved Cougars offense. They're scoring twice as many points per game this season, doubling their total of 14 from last year when only Kent State scored fewer. in the FBS.
And in no small part due to the versatile pieces they've got. Dean Connors, you talked about, Tanner Koziel at tight end, Amari Thomas at receiver, all can do a lot and present a lot of different options to opposing defenses.
First possession for Houston offensively here in Waco. And third down and short. Wigman over the right side. And he nearly creased it. He'll have to settle for a first down, but he saw a touchdown open up with a gain of 6.
And this is what we talked about. It's not just the scramble runs, design quarterback counter going towards the right side, and just a fingernail tackle by Tyler Turner prevents that from maybe being a house call.
Defensively, no Jacob Redding today for Baylor. You can make the case he's their best player on defense. Bo Onu was an emerging freshman, also down today. New first down for Wigman and the Cougs. On play action, he's well protected. Spins one to the sideline. And it's caught by Thomas. A first down grab at the 47. A pickup of 13 yards through the air.
Amari Thomas, great job here. Two-man route combo. And so you get the clear out from Harvey Broussard going upfield. Amari Thomas, dynamic enough, breaks outside. Easy pitch and catch so far for Houston on offense.
Kobe Young, motion to the right slots. Wigman rolling that way. Tried to layer it into Thomas again. He's scored in 3 straight games for Houston and complete in second down.
So we've seen so far their ability to stretch and stress the outside of the field with Amari Thomas, getting Dean Connors on the perimeter. That's going to open and soften up the middle for Tanner Koziel at tight end. The big 6'7" target sitting in the slot on the left side of this formation.
Tanner only a couple of catches last week. TCU took him away into the fourth quarter. QB draw. Wigman through an arm tackle and to midfield. Third down awaits the Houston offense. Adonis Freelu, a senior defensive lineman, knocked Wigman off his feet.
It's a great opportunity for offensive coordinator Slade Nagel to potentially call this with 2 downs in mind. You'd be in no man's land if you can turn this into 4th and short. And I think very easy go territory for them if so.
Wigman's only thrown it twice on this opening drive. They're coming after him, and he drives this slant into the midst of Amari Thomas. First down, Houston at the 40 of the Bears. Keaton Thomas covers the tackle. Second time that Wigman's linked up with Thomas.
And you see that attention to Koziel on the inside, opens up that window on the second slant for Amari Thomas. Great protection in the backfield by Dean Connors and this offensive line. You get a blitz off the left side. Wigman throws away from it to the right.
Set up 2-by-2 here with the new first down. A downhill run from Dean Connors. Well, he's one of their best weapons through the air as well. He's got 25 straight games with a catch. If you saw his diving grab against TCU last week, it was sensational. We had this game in Stillwater when he made one of the catches of the year for a touchdown.
Stab in the end zone, a one-handed grab off a play action by Wigman. Just sensational athlete and dynamic member of this backfield.
Houston's already picked up 45 yards and 3 first downs on this march. Here's the 9th play of their opening sequence against a 4-man rush. Wigman wide of the mark. It's his first target for his talented tight end. Tanner Koziel, second in the conference with better than 5 catches per contest. And another disappointing sign for Baylor. Bryson Washington, after just a couple of carries with that ankle injury.
Already down your star tight end, and now you're starting running back going off in a cart. Terrible, terrible news.
Wigman from the shotgun, settling things down at the line of scrimmage. Takes that check with me glance to his sideline, and now he's ready. The third down and 7, a middle run. That had the look of a 4-down play sequence. We'll see if they are going for 4th down below the 35 of Baylor. Kylan Reed, a sophomore linebacker from Arlington, wraps up the stop.
I think you're absolutely right, JB. that third down play call, always kind of a window into what the communication's like between Willie Fritz, Slade Nagel. You try and give them that early in the drive situations where we'd be in go zone so that the play caller can adjust. And this is once again your Dave Aranda in this defense where you've got to eye Connor Wigman's run game first and foremost.
It's also just a week after they missed 2 fourth-quarter field goals, did Houston. Wigman to throw on 4th down. His trusty tight end to move the sticks. Tanner Koziel delivers with an 8-yard reception.
The guy just catches everything, JB, and you're going to watch him break out from inside in the slot when he gets up to the second level. And that big frame, so great for walling off smaller defenders in the defensive backfield. He's a real mismatch challenge for opposing defenses to try and figure it out. And even if you're on him, the catch radius is just enormous.
First time we've seen Stacy Sneed. He motions to empty, spelling Dean Connors. Straight back drop for Wigman. Chops his feet and fires middle. Thomas in space to the numbers. Needs a block. He gets in. 27 yards for Amari Thomas. His 4th straight game with a Houston touchdown. A 12-play, 82-yard touchdown drive to begin the regular season finale for Wigman and the Cougs.
A little bit of everything on that drive. All the stars got involved. We saw the 4th down catch by Koziel to keep the drive going, run game from Wigman, and then finish it off by spreading him out and giving Amari Thomas room to work.
His 10th receiving touchdown of the season. The extra point is right down the middle for Ethan Sanchez, the senior from Dallas. Cougs get a stop on defense, and then they strike for a 27-yard touchdown. Shout out Stacy Sneed for that last block.
Fanapt allopurinol is approved for adults with bipolar 1 disorder with acute, mixed or manic episodes. Unlike some drugs for bipolar 1 disorder, nausea, vomiting and restlessness are not common with Fanapt. Fanapt may be associated with serious side effects. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis treated with antipsychotics are at increased risk of stroke or death. Fanapt is not approved for elderly with dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
From the beginning, America has depended on the courage and resilience of those who serve in our armed forces. For 250 years, they've been there for us without fail, putting their lives on the line, defending our freedom, helping us become the nation we are today. At Wounded Warrior Project, our mission honors the past by building a better future for post-9/11 veterans, service members, and their families. Our life-changing programs and services help warriors improve their mental and physical health, access the VA benefits they've earned, and connect with their communities, their purpose, and each other. Warriors have given us their best. Join us in supporting them through the next 250 years of strength, resilience, and recovery. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/USA250.
Big 12 college football on TNT Sports is presented by Modelo, the official beer sponsor of the college football playoff. And by Progressive, get coverage you can count on with home and auto at progressive.com. Houston gets a stop defensively, then a touchdown drive. Those 12 plays evenly split, run and pass. They end up with a touchdown.
Perfectly balanced opening set from Houston. It's exactly what you draw up. A lot of teams will have those 10 or 15 scripted plays in their openers, try and gather information, but also they're plays you've repped a ton. You've walked through them over and over, and so your level of execution always high to start the game.
Zach Yoakum on the run up to the ball. The right-footed kick is in the air, and once again he denies Cole Wilson an opportunity.
Take a look back at that last touchdown, JB, and you're going to see up at the top of the screen here, Amari Thomas comes in the slot, And that matchup here with Keaton Thomas, he's great for a lot in the middle of this defense, but trying to stick with one of the best receivers in the Big 12, not one of them. That's a mismatch they can exploit because Amari Thomas is versatile enough for them to move him all around. Even calls out the block there, pointing Stacey Sneed to the party to help escort him to the end zone. So just one of the examples of how these pass catchers for Houston are so versatile and give them options.
So the Bears on their heels, down a touchdown, down their tight end Michael Trigg, and having lost Bryson Washington on the opening drive of the game. The first toss for Sawyer Robertson is a completion. Cole Wilson with a first down grab.
Just a nice easy inbreaker from Wilson, flanked by Josh Cameron, one of their most off-targeted threats on the outside. And the first pass for Sawyer Robertson, get his feet under him a little bit after a rough outing last week.
But trips into the boundary. He pats the football and rings one middle. This is off frame. Wilson the target again. Jordan Allen the nearest in coverage.
Yeah, Wilson looked like he got his feet tripped up a little bit. Robertson thrown into a spot, and unfortunately, and just couldn't stay upright on that one. But this is the challenge. Without Michael Trigg in the slot, in that tight end area, the defense doesn't have to focus as many resources, as many eyes on him, and so all these other receivers are going to have to work that much harder to get open.
Beginning the game with a run-heavy dose. Now they hit the middle of the field, and they find Ashton Hawkins to the 42 in Houston territory. Of course, he missed the first half of last week's game in Tucson and never really got started. Only one catch for 8 yards. He's got 22 here.
Yep, you're going to see him come in from the left side of the screen. Two high safeties, and so you want to throw those in-breaking routes towards the middle of the field. Middle field open, and he's open for business.
Robertson ready again. He zips one, and a miscommunication. He wanted Ashton Hawkins to throttle it down. 2nd and 10.
This drive a little more what we were expecting, though. Baylor came out 3 straight runs. The injury to Bryson Washington certainly changes. Some of that is now you're going to have to manage the pitch count of Caden Knighton a bit in that backfield. And so just another challenge for Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator today, as Houston gets the full hockey line change for their defensive front.
As he watches his play sheet, Robertson ready to go, flanked by Knighton in the backfield. A clap for the snap, and a QB run. Big reach down the middle of the field, and it looks like the spot will give him a new first down at the 30 in front of Latrell McCutcheon Sr. in the secondary for the Cougs.
And that's something they said they wanted to go with a little more of today. We talked about the design QB rush on the other side. Good block by Knighton over on the left, and Robertson opting to slide shoulders first instead of feet first, so gets that added yardage for the first down.
Good response here for Sawyer Robertson and the Bears after falling behind by a touchdown. It's creepy. They will send that DB blitz. Right on the number of Cole Wilson for a first down in the red zone. A confident stroke from Sawyer Robertson. A gain of 17 more.
Tight end room still getting some attention there. You're going to see Matthew Klopfenstein come in and take up a number of Houston defenders. It opens it up for Cole Wilson, who the run after the catch for these receivers on these routes targeting the middle of the field with these 2 high safeties basically all the way down for Houston. It's been the steady formula on this drive.
Houston's got a top 50 defense, but they have been susceptible to explosive plays through the air. Off the motion. They get it in the hands of Knighton, and he's down to the 7-yard line. He's already had a larger than expected role, Caden, as a true freshman, with junior Dawson Pendergrass suffering a season-ending injury this summer. Today, Michael Turner out as well, and Bryson Washington, as we've said, carded off early. 2nd down 2. Inside the 10-yard line. Houston got a 27-yard receiving touchdown on its first possession. This is Baylor's 2nd drive. They've covered 68 yards. Robertson ready for the 8th play. Off play action. That ball's tipped. That ball is intercepted. A tip drill takeaway for Mark Stampley.
What a back-breaking finish to a promising drive by Baylor. Talked about everything they had to overcome. You get down on the doorstep, and then off the helmet in the middle of the trenches. A great job tracking it by Stampley, and Houston will take over off the header when we return here in Waco.
Insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Welcome to the season of Yes and at Sam's Club. Say yes to this awesome basketball game. You know, for the kids. And to curbside pickup. Take it to the house! Just making sure it works. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Boys, put it right there. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
Eyes up here.
HBO Max is only $2.99 per month for 12 months.
Coming in hot!
Get all the hits for 70% off.
What?
Yeah. Get it while you still can. Deal ends Monday.
Welcome back. Check out the double doink here. Bears fans, avert your eyes and ears. Off that Sawyer Robertson pass down by the goal line, that pops it up. And Mark Stampley, the second, the recipient, as Houston takes over. Just brutal after a great drive by Baylor.
Gained 68 yards and 4 first downs, but they turn it over again. And DJ Butler rumbles up to the 30. He's got a first down carry. For Robertson, Mike, that's 5 interceptions in parts of his last 3 games. And conversely for Houston, they've got 7 picks in their last 4.
Yeah, these teams meeting at the worst possible time. If you're Baylor, you see the turnover margin been a nightmare, and especially red zone turnovers. They feel like they count twice the damage on your psyche, especially for a quarterback that, like we talked about, is coming into this game off a really rough outing in Tucson last week.
Good look at DJ Butler there, who's become the RB2 for Houston behind Connors late in this season. Wigman has his targets balanced out 2 by 2 with a new first down. And they'll sweep Butler to the left edge. Knocked off his feet with a sure tackle in space made by Micah Gifford, the junior safety, limits the gain to 3.
The safety room shorthanded. Again, we mentioned Jacob Redding out today. Bo Onu, who had played kind of that star role, some safety they thought could play some linebacker. And so everyone going to have to pull the rope a little bit tighter, especially against this quarterback-led rushing attack.
Aranda knew that they would get some looks similar to what Utah did to them the last time they were on this field. An end-around toss is destroyed. Muse had no chance. DJ Coleman and others with a tackle for loss of -8.
Great discipline off the backside. You're going to see Coleman coming off the edge over here and just staying upfield. He's the team leader in tackles for loss, and on that play, that's just being disciplined on the backside. You don't see him bite on the handoff the other way. He gets upfield. He's guarding anything that's coming back and counting and trusting the rest of his teammates to handle anything going the other way.
Coleman, who had his second career interception last week off of Noah Fafita and Arizona. 3rd down and long. A receiver screen to Thomas. And well defended, a sudden change situation that Keaton Thomas and this Baylor defense handled beautifully.
Houston loves to go to these middle screens, so just great job in film study by Keaton Thomas, understanding what they're going to try and get the ball in the hands of a playmaker, triggers downhill, beats the offensive lineman to the stop, and helps settle down this entire Baylor sideline after that turnover.
Liam Doherty and the Houston punting team, they've had some trouble. They gave up a huge return in the 4th quarter of a tie game last week against TCU. And Cameron, on his senior day, sprinting over to the left sideline. Picks it up to the 35, hurdles to the 40. Josh Cameron out of bounds across midfield. The senior from Cedar Park, Texas, with a spark for the Baylor Bears. They're down a touchdown. They've got a red zone turnover, but they've got it back in positive starting field position.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Terms apply.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you and your team never miss a play.
So, what's your projection? Are we surpassing conference expectations?
What? Oh, they're at the 20-yard line.
So they're in the red?
They're going for the fourth. Interception!
Let's go! Great fourth quarter.
That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T Guarantee.
Wildly entertaining and unpredictable Big 12 has a champion to crown, and AT&T Stadium is where we're going to decide it.
Into the corner, touchdown.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot. Playing the Bushnell December 9th through 14th. Tickets at bushnell.org.
Ready for big days ahead? Meet Lalo, where the details are designed to make each day feel effortless. Start the day with stress-free breakfasts, fill their lunchboxes with nutritious lunches, and come home to spaces made for curiosity and connection. Our products take the hassle out of mealtime and playtime, so you can focus on the moments that matter most. See why families count on Lalo to make busy school days easier and every milestone memorable. Shop now for limited time savings at meetlalo.com.
After a great punt return, Baylor looking to tie it up deep in this first quarter. We flash back to last year, the most recent meeting at Houston. Sawyer Robertson with a turnover-prone day, but was able to overcome it with a couple of touchdown tosses. Baylor's defense allowed just 3 points in what became a 20-10 win over the Cougs.
Talk about a great uniform matchup today. Anytime the powder blue comes out, it's a good time in Houston.
From plus territory. Oh, what a catch. Shielding the defender, reeling it in with that right hand. Matthew Kloffenstein doing his best Michael Trigg impersonation.
Trying to go out here and match the performance he had. Career high 3 for 33 in the 2024 Texas Bowl when Trigg was also out there. And how about Robertson just sticking it in there? He couldn't hand it off better.
Robertson ready again. Hits that back foot. He's drilled. Is that down? Is that a strip sack? It's Houston football. Sione Fotu. And Brandon Mack jarred it loose.
And this is going to be the all-important look at it. Brandon Mack coming off the left side over here. Is that hand coming forward with the football in it? That looks like it's going to be a fumble. I'd be stunned based off that look. And absolutely, what a great job. So many rushers in this day and age, because the quarterback is such a protected class inside the pocket, try and aim for that upfield throwing arm for just that reason. Catches that back elbow and creates another impact play for this Houston defense.
Brandon Mack turned 24 this summer. He's a sixth season junior. Defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong told us earlier this season that Brandon probably started playing when you were finishing, Mike. I won't check the dates on that, but let's just take it as fact.
I'm not going to let the truth get in the way of that good story. No chance.
2 first quarter takeaways for this Houston defense. Wigman back to pass, climbs the pocket. He's leveled as he heaves, and that's going to be pass interference. Kobe Young the target, Tevin Williams in coverage. Wigman wore it back in the pocket.
Pass interference, number 27, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He did. He took the shot, but this is what they want from Kobe Young. They believe he's got big playability. They've talked with him about it all season, and in the last few games, he's drawn a couple of good defensive pass interference penalties. Like that one, no question, underthrown ball on the deep post, and a great opportunity to keep the chains moving here.
Wigman looks to the sideline, checks his wristband. He's got Dean Connors in his backfield. And a new first down at the 46. Koziel, the motion man. Houston will run it, and it is gobbled up. Devontae Tesno with the run stuff, -2.
See max protection here, and Wigman takes an absolute shot from Jackie Marshall in the middle of that one. Perfectly legal hit. Those body blows you want to try and stack up as a defender, but Wigman's tough. I mean, being a guy who's a design rusher as often he is, used to taking hits.
Behind the chains for second down here. Middle target. Koziel wrapped up right as he makes the catch. Now, Mike, Dave Aranda told us this week that it felt like battling with scientists with NASA, that no team is as heavy in terms of game plan as Houston. What did he mean?
Well, you go to the line, and a lot like we hear in the NFL, at times Houston's going there with multiple plays. They're going to give them a look at the defense, and then based on what they see, be able to check into it. And so you see them looking down at the wristband right now. They've got a good plan for each and every play to try and make the defense wrong based on how you align. And if anyone's up for a high-level chess match, I think it's Dave Aranda, given what we know about how that brain works.
Now, Fritz thinks his quarterback is super smart, an excellent processor who can handle it. Baylor drops 8 into coverage. Wigman steps up, scrambles, flips it, and that's a first down catch and run for his tailback, Dean Connors. 26 conceded season. Stacy Snead in motion. Blitz is on. They do spit it out to the perimeter. Snead makes one miss. And behind his pads, he's got a new first down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 11 out on the perimeter.
Had a Snead for speed there. You saw the linebacker running with him, so they knew they had man coverage, and having guys like DJ Coleman tracking inside to outside when they're running in man creates some bad angles. A great job by Snead putting his foot in the ground and getting yards.
So Wigman completes 8 of his first 10 for 85 yards, and that touchdown to Thomas. Back to deliver again, and this one slips through the hands of Snead, looping out of the backfield.
Whew. Almost had it on that one. We are in the Lone Star State. They call that Texas. The running back with the angle route coming out of the backfield. And just through the outstretched hands in that matchup with Caleb Burns, the freshman for Baylor, getting some time in that linebacker room today.
All he has to do is make a safety miss to score that. If they hit it, Snead stays in the game. Second down and 10. Houston looking to double. It's Lee around the left side with an escort. Wigman leaving, Bears in his wake, all the way to the end zone. 28 yards for Connor Wigman, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
Wow, we need the tracker on that one. Ran about 40 yards to get the 20 or so he needed on the design quarterback toss. You're going to see 79 pull around, and then Snead lead blocking on the perimeter. The pin down by Tanner Koziel on the defensive end makes it possible, and they get just enough, and then it's all Wigman. Just the feel of a quarterback who's such a patient runner in addition to being such a gifted athlete. What a remarkable run. And for good measure, touchdown.
Remember earlier this season that the hope was that Wigman would benefit from a fresh start, right? Change of scenery, better injury luck, and for the most part, that's been true. He was knocked out in that Texas Tech loss, but he's been able to start all 12 games.
Listen, he went to Texas A&M as one of the most high-profile recruits in the country. There's a lot of pressure on that program to go out and succeed, and when you come in with that, and so you're absolutely right, a chance to come to a place, get a fresh start, and exhale a little bit, and make the plays they always knew he was capable of. Again, they're taking a look since that ball came loose, but we saw that replay review. Great job by our crew. Clearly crossed the goal line before any part of that ball came dislodged.
After review, the runner did have firm control of the ball when he crossed the goal line. The ruling on the field is upheld. It is a touchdown.
As illustrated by Willie Fritz, Tutashinda Salam with the announcement there. It's 13-0 Houston with the try pending.
You know, going back to the point you made a little earlier, JB, about what was at stake. They had a path that looked like to the Big 12 championship for a while. That gave way to disappointment. And Willie Fritz said, we recruited the right guys here, both out of high school and in the portal, to go and respond well, even when that goal might be taken away, and go out here and execute the way we've seen them do so far.
Ethan Sanchez for the extra points. If not for a couple of missed field goals last week, they might already have 9 wins. I'm sure some Houston fans are still wondering what happened at home against West Virginia, but they can't get those back. They can earn a 9th win today in Waco.
Ponvory is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory lowers the number of white blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually, this will return to normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment. Ponvory can increase your risk of serious infections that can be life-threatening and may cause death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceutical.
Imagine making premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Introducing Bartesian. From the comfort of your own home, you can enjoy quality ingredients and the premium pours you'd expect from a cocktail lounge. Simply insert the capsule, select your strength, and enjoy.
Learn more at Bartesian.com.
The easiest high chair you'll ever use. It clips right on, feels super secure, and makes mealtime anywhere so much easier.
Lalo's new hook-on chair is perfect for small spaces and on-the-go meals.
Not only am I obsessed with the look of the hook-on chair, but it has a footrest, it's easy to clean, it comes with a tray, and it's just so comfy for your little one.
It folds up so easily, and then I just toss it in the stroller of the car. It's definitely the one thing I never forget to pack.
Make sure your little one has a seat anywhere. Shop limited time savings at meetlalo.com.
College football's biggest stage returns to TNT and HBO Max. The College Football Playoff kicks off December 19th and 20th with first-round coverage presented by Allstate. Big 12 with 3 programs ranked in the top 13. We know that Texas Tech and BYU will play for the conference championship here on this final weekend of the regular season. What a campaign it's been, really. 12 teams with at least 1 ranked win, 9 already bowl eligible. Our Big 12 standings are presented by Modelo.
An incredible group. Had a fun one last night out in Tempe. Territorial Cup that Arizona took home. Brett Yormark there making the case for some of those Big 12 teams near the top of the standing.
There will be a chance for Cole Wilson to return. He gets a kick-out block. A stiff arm at the 35. Stumbling up that sideline, waiting for reinforcements. And a nice answer back by the special teams unit of the Baylor Bears, down 2 touchdowns, but another start in positive territory.
Brought this all the way back. You're going to see that wind from one side of the field, the other. Try and get the kick coverage team all going in one direction. Great job making the kicker miss. Always bonus points for that. And it's now special teams both coming to bat. Cole Wilson, Josh Cameron on a punt return before, trying to give them and will them some offensive momentum.
And I'm going to call Michael Allen's name. He was 30 in green right at the point of attack. You talk to people around this Baylor program, there may not be a more beloved Bear with a future in coaching than Allen. Robertson hit as he throws, and it sails a bit on him. Ashton Hawkins was the target. One other thought on that game you mentioned last night, Arizona winning the Territorial Cup. Second week in a row that they pitched a second half shutout. Remember, Baylor got touchdowns on their first 2 drives last week in Tucson, only a field goal the rest of the way.
One of the best defenses in college football. We covered them 3 times this year. The job Danny Gonzalez did with that side of the ball, remarkable.
Play fake to Dodds. Try to get it in the hands of Cameron. It's 3rd down and 10.
Boy, and they looked like they had some room. I thought the screen game could be an area where Houston had some struggles defensively against TCU a week ago that maybe Baylor could exploit. But the last couple of passes a bit errant. Give some credit to Miles Parker getting a hand up in that window. You also saw Corey Platt Jr. just making it murky enough for Sawyer Robertson to deliver an errant pass.
Michael Turner out today. Washington already shaken up. Dodds is in the backfield, and they still can't link up with the Big 12 leader in catches, Josh Cameron. 4th down, and the field goal unit coming on.
Just a speed out here and a little wide there. Maybe want the ball on him a bit more, but someone's got to step up and make a play for this Baylor offense right now. Since that first drive when Bryson Washington had a couple of solid churns in the run game, there's been intermittent bouts, but they need someone to help get them off the mat.
Connor Hawkins has a long of 53 twice. This is from 54 on a gusty day in Waco. He got it. The freshman from Liberty Hill, Texas, has Baylor on the board early 2nd quarter.
Pulling up from distance. Go ahead, young man. And maybe that could be it, right? You at least pay off the great special teams play with points here. Everyone on the sideline can exhale a little bit now. A little high on the snap. Good job by the holder getting it down.
It's Palmer Williams, one of the best punters in college football. Yeah, I think a little wind at the back. It's kind of, working from left to right, but I think it gave it the nudge it needed. Willie Fritz working against the wind on the Houston sideline.
Love to see the competitive edge from both these coaching staffs coming out here. College football, at times we get too myopically focused on the playoff and forget all the other goals at play with everyone. Trying to establish in year 2 for Willie Fritz here at Houston the kind of culture and program he wants to continue to have going forward, built in those little moments.
At Armstrong, the kickoff, there will not be a return in one of the fields on which these programs compete. Recruiting. As you study these rosters, so many had offers from one or the other coming out of high school, and as we enter the winter, we know what comes next. And so both Houston and Baylor trying to finish their regular season on a positive note.
And that's where before we talked about bowl season with the portal window now moved back into January. It's a great chance to self-scout some of the guys that maybe didn't get a ton of playing time. If you've got those 15 bowl practices to work with, it gives you a chance to learn even a little bit more about your roster as you've got to make these important decisions.
Weidman's been efficient, 8 of 11 through the air. He's got a rushing touchdown of 28 yards, fading away from pressure. Again, has the poise to find his tailback. Butler is crunched after a gain of 12 by Micah Gifford. But Weidman, even though he is a running quarterback, doesn't give up on a passing play when it breaks down.
No, we've now seen him twice in this game do a really good job of moving his feet in the pocket, buying time after the pressure by Freelou, but keeping his eyes downfield. And both times, his running backs have paid him off, made themselves available, and gotten an easy first down.
I think it helps him to know that he's got such talented receivers at tailback. Seen Connors, we talked about him. Butler backing him up. New first down over the left side. And he climbs to the 40. Let's check in with Coy Wire.
You mentioned Michael Allen, the special teams assassin, has set up the key block on that scoring drive. He's a huge leader for this team. Defensive coordinator Matt Polish told me he's so sharp. He signals in the defensive calls from the sidelines. He's even been invited to their staff meetings. This week, Allen texted all the players and said, let's get together an hour before the walkthrough on our own, watch some film. He texted Polish and made sure all the notes were in, and they'd be ready for practice to when they get out there. He will have a career in coaching one day. He's Chicago Bears defensive coordinator Dennis Allen's nephew. Football is in his blood. Coordinator Matt Polish told me he's the type of player you'd clone 10 of them if you could.
Let's see that pad on his left arm. Thank you, Coy. That's an awesome story. A couple games ago, broke his arm on a Saturday, didn't even report it, came in on Sunday, said, I don't think this is right.
The kind of glue guys that make teams go, that leadership, even for someone who's not on the field all that often defensively, invaluable for this team.
Butler with a stiff arm and another first down at midfield. 2 flags on the play. For now, it's a gain of 10. DJ Butler, an avid photographer who hopes to have a career in sports photography someday. Right now, we're taking pictures of him.
Personal foul, face mask, number 24, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it's a 25-yard gain, 10 on the ground, 15 on the flag.
Watch the way Butler puts his foot in the ground here. Initially going to be up inside on this and then bounce it to the outside. He gets the defenders to all dip their heads, take a peek inside, and then immediately plants his foot in the ground now that he's short in the edge.
Yeah, you can see the tug there by Tevin Williams III. Dean Connors got a nice breather thanks to DJ Butler. He's back in fresh as Wigman hits the top of his drop. And that's intercepted. Taken away at the 20 by Keaton Thomas. The green dot linebacker for the Bears with a game-changing play. Keaton's first interception of the season in the regular season finale.
Needed an impact play, and who else but Keaton Thomas coming through for the Bears.
Hi. Play for an ultra?
Racy for an ultra?
Don't forget, there's ultras on the line.
Woo!
I didn't.
Michelob Ultra. Superior like thee.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire! Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. Switch to Allstate and you could save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
This field belongs to the ones who take it. This season doesn't come with the script. This is where everything is earned, and we mean everything. We don't do handouts here. You want the spotlight? Earn it. You want to shine different? Prove it. 30 years strong, and we keep shining brighter. This is Big 12 football. This is a different league.
Deborah, Erlene, and Marsha are among the thousands of real women living with metastatic breast cancer doing what they love and taking Ibrance. Ibrance, with an aromatase inhibitor, is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ibrance plus letrozole significantly delayed disease progression versus letrozole alone. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening chest pain, cough, or trouble breathing. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver, or kidney problems. Are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be, as it can harm an unborn baby, and about all medicines you take. For more information about side effects, talk to your doctor. These are real women taking Ibrance. Ask your doctor about Ibrance.
Welcome back. Baylor taking over on offense after the Keaton Thomas interception. You're going to have the angle route by Dean Connors, but watch what looked like a missed pass interference here on the route. Keaton Thomas going to get a good hold and actually slingshot off the waist of Dean Connors into that interception. So I think just a missed call there completely.
Opportunity for Baylor here as they hit the edge with Caden Knighton. And he's got a burst of 9, maybe 10 yards. Mike, I want to just give you a hint at what I would like for Christmas. This is the end of our football season together, but...
You think you could pull off the turnover bearskin? You really think you've got that? I believe in you. I just want to hear you say it.
Knighton churning from midfield. So look, even though that probably should not have been an interception for Connor Wigman, it's his 7th in the last 4 games and the 10th giveaway for Houston here in the month of November.
So far, turnovers, the early story of this day for both teams, will go a long way if Baylor could even it out here, still losing in the turnover margin.
They give Knighton a first down, of course, across midfield. Again, good field position for the Bears. So far, only a field goal to show for it. Late in the progression, Klopfenstein makes himself available. And the protection was there for Sawyer Robertson. I'm not sure how much Baylor trusted its pass pro against this defensive front of Houston, but so far today it's held.
Well, and throwing on first down like that when defense are going to be in base personnel, you're getting less exotics. I think makes it easier for your quarterback to give him some of those base looks.
through a run blitz there, and it's close. Caden Knighton does spill forward for a first down. Miles Parker, a junior defensive lineman, hanging on for the tackle. Get used to Knighton. With Washington injured on the first drive, we'll see a lot of this freshman from Pauls Valley, Oklahoma.
Joseph Dodds coming in to spell him now in the backfield. So going a little further down on the depth chart right now, we also see Kelsey Johnson in at tight end in the slot over on the right-hand side. So all hands on deck today.
Quick throw, and it's on target. They link up with Kelsey Johnson, the junior from Red Oak, Texas. Still haven't found Josh Cameron on his senior day. It's a gain of 6 for now. Second down for Sawyer Robertson.
I mean, Robertson's just got so much muscle memory throwing to that tight end spot. We saw the great throw on the button to Klopfenstein earlier, and now there to Kelsey Johnson. He's just so used to that Trigg security blanket. But so far, these guys have done a good job filling that void.
Robertson 6 of 12 through the air. At the bottom of your screen, it's Ashton Hawkins. 3 into the boundary for Robertson, and a gun run. The 30 and maybe the 28. We'll see about the spot. Joseph Dodds may have a new Baylor first down. As we approach the 9-minute mark, second quarter, Sione Fotu, junior linebacker, has the Houston tackle.
So we've seen passes on the last 2 first downs that have set up second and more manageable. This is the area you're just outside of the red zone where if you've got a shot play and you want to take one look at the end zone, maybe for Josh Cameron, you've got the space and room to do it still with the amount of field left.
Cameron's the tip of that spear there, and the bunch to the top of your screen. And here comes Cole Wilson in motion. And before the snap whistles, I don't see a flag.
Prior to the snap, the replay process was initiated. The previous play is under review to determine if the runner reached the line to gain.
9 Big 12 teams already bowl eligible. Today, K-State, UCF, and Baylor trying to join that group. This was ruled a first down on the field. They're taking a look at the spot.
I think based on that angle, we have a great shot right down the line. You saw that forward progress. It looked like the football was right at the line to gain. So
again, this yellow line unofficial.
From that angle, it looked short, but from that shot we had down the line, I thought the nose of the football was right at where we saw the orange line to gain.
Is this clearly and obviously misspotted as a first down?
So you see right here, that's about as far as the football gets forward. And to me, the nose of that football looks like it's right where the marker is right there. That should be easy to uphold. And based on how quick they're getting away from that, I think they agree with us.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It is a first down for Baylor.
So let's reset with what you had hinted at. With a first down below the 30, you still think a shot opportunity here?
Yeah, I think so. Now it's tough, right? The defense just got a chance to look at that. You'd have to go to the play number 2 because now Austin Armstrong's got that snapshot of what you were just running. It's kind of the difficult part of the timing of when that was buzzed in, but you already see different formation here. You had 2 receivers to the right before. Now a little more condensed, but this looks like with the tight end hit with the running back in, maybe you get a play action shot and try and see if you can find something for Josh Cameron. Who's had a quiet day so far.
Cole Wilson, the motion man. Hawkins isolated, and he put it on his number. A strike to the 23, cuts the chains in half, maybe 6 on the game. And Jake Spavital told us this week that with Sawyer Robertson taking the field for his senior day, his last game here at McLean Stadium, he told him he's got to do whatever it takes to walk off as a winner. He's put so much work into this place. His journey fascinating, and he's such a great ambassador for Baylor. Dodds would not be denied. First and goal below the 8-yard line. Motoring for 15 on the turf in the arms of Kentrell Webb.
You're going to see the counter here. One thing Klopfenstein can do is get in here and muck it up a bit. They both do a great job of sorting out the trash there and just great hitting that downhill.
Dodds again, this time stacked up, stays on his feet, and the tackle finished by Jordan Allen. Well, getting into scoring position has not been the issue whatsoever today for Baylor. Ball security and converting has been.
And remember that last interception came trying to throw over the middle, ball careened off some helmets, maybe looked for an opportunity to get one of those natural rub routes on the outside going away.
Robertson on the QB draw. A flag is down as he breaks the plane. Let's see if it stands. A muted celebration so far here in Waco.
Holding, number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
As Colton Price was caught with the foul.
See 72 right here in the middle. And that double leg takedown, unfortunately, all that torque right in the middle. Usually going to be tough for the officials to ignore there. Backs him up for a little more space here after they called Robertson's number in the run game, something we also knew was going to be a steady diet today for them.
No grass for Houston to defend, but knocked off the goal line. Second and goal. And they sail a screen pass out to Knighton.
Not sure what the whistle's being blown for now, but man, he had a couple of blockers and only 2 defenders right there. Looked like they were ready to go if he could have just put that ball on Knighton out there in the flat.
You'll recall that after a big kick return, Baylor just had to settle for a career-long field goal for Connor Hawkins, trying not to send the field goal unit out again here. Third down and goal against the blitz. Cole Wilson. And the Cougs rally to make the play up against that right sideline. And once again, Dave Aranda has to settle for a 3-point try.
Great job penalty assisted by this Houston defense, bowing up, bend but don't break. And we see the structure of this defense, right? They've played a lot of 2 high safeties today. They're trying to limit any big play opportunity, and so far they've been able to corral Sawyer Robertson and keep most all of his completions to that shorter intermediate range, with none of the home runs that you usually have as backbreakers for a defense.
After knocking through a 54-yarder, here's 34, and he puts it through the pipes again. Connor Hawkins 2 for 2. And the new score, Houston 14, Baylor 6. Connor Wigman on the road, back to work. His Cougs undefeated away from Houston so far this season.
I'm being told this is Limo Emo from Liberty Mutual, who helps save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
And his partner, Doug, is the gentleman under the security guard.
Only pay for what you need. Liberty, liberty, liberty. He has Simply Safe with proactive monitoring.
Stop, this is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Must be nice.
Simply Safe. Real security stops crime before it starts.
We're closing down the NBA Cup.
Woo, wow! 30 teams started the chase.
It's gonna be a battle right here. But now,
we're down to single elimination.
We either go home or you go to Las Vegas. Oh my goodness! Viva!
This is ridiculous!
And these guys won't stop until someone captures the cup.
We gotta see what happens on the court, baby.
BP's crashing.
Clear.
Coming to TNT.
Pulse is thready.
Stay with us.
Is it always this busy?
Welcome to the pit.
The Pit, Monday, back-to-back starting at 9 on TNT. Say your DVR.
It's 7v7 soccer. Smaller the pitch, faster the action. The world's elite soccer clubs compete for their share of a massive $5 million prize. Catch World Sevens on TNT, TrueTV, and HBO Max Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
You're invited to cheer on your favorite Big 12 teams with officially licensed fan gear. The best selection of team apparel and accessories. Head to shopncaasports.com today. Great student section with us today on this holiday weekend in Waco. The regular season finale, Houston leading Baylor 14-6. The Cougs trying to stay undefeated on the road, get their 9th win and 6th in conference. The Baylor Bears must win to get to 6 and to play into the postseason. We'll get a touch back here before Connor Wigman is back at the switch. Let's check in with Coy Wire.
Yeah, JB, Baylor's leading rusher Bryson Washington left this game early with a lower leg injury. He was carted off, but he is back out of the locker room on crutches with a boot on his right foot. They're certainly missing him, but he's trying his best to be there for his team regardless. He's cheering for them, even going out onto the field in team huddles during timeouts, as his boys have now cut Houston's lead to just 8. JB.
A tough turn of events for Bryson, right? 1,000-yard rusher last season. He has 3 100-yard games in September of this season. But the fumbles have piled up. He's lost 4 of them this year, and it ends with an injury in the home finale. DJ Butler has given Houston some nice pop. There's a flag down from behind the play, right at the point of attack.
Holding, number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Matthew Wyckoff. First year at UH after a couple at Cal and 2 more at A&M.
See Wyckoff right at the point of attack here, a little Y insert, so Koziol working up there, but easy that grab. When that back judge sees color outside of the framework of the offensive lineman's body, that is usually going to prompt some laundry.
Wigman feeds Butler. Another flag comes in, this time from the umpire. That was the first penalty accepted against Houston. 3 for 40 yards, including a big pass interference against Baylor.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, number 0, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's a senior defensive lineman, Jackie Marshall.
Marshall right in the middle here. You're going to see those hands drift up right underneath the chin strap, and if once wasn't good enough, that second time will get you got. So the refs giveth and the refs taketh away.
Jackie, one of these Bears that had an offer from Houston coming out of high school. He's got a chance to play on Sundays, in part because, like Mike, he benches over 400 and squats nearly 6.
You weren't supposed to tell people about what you saw in the hotel gym this morning.
Butler through 1 tackle. Now a stiff arm against the safety. And he's got a first down carry of 13 yards before Tyler Turner tracks him down.
Butler giving him some great juice in the run game, spelling Dean Connors. Lines up in that pistol and does a great job breaking that tackle. From a defensive end, I mean, Devontae Tesno, that's a big body that he just ran right through the arm tackle of.
About 90 rushing yards for Houston in this opening half. You're going to hit the 5-minute mark here. We'll remind our audience that Houston won the opening coin toss, elected to defer. Now they've got possession at midfield. Go ahead, Mike. I know you want to.
We're not under 4 minutes yet, but we all know about the middle 8. That chance to swing the game the last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 of the second when you get that second half kickoff. Check that off your bingo card.
Off the play fake, little flip to the flat. Here's Koziol with the full head of steam, and he's out of bounds with the first down at the 40 of Baylor.
They sent Amari Thomas in motion, and then they bring Koziol over, so the defense already had to watch one of the best receivers on this team go across. Then you've got the threat of Wigman running downhill on this RPO action, and Koziol just waiting there for the dump off right there in the flat. Just a great design by Slade Nagel in this offense to get an easy reception for one of their best pass catchers.
Butler behind Wigman in the pistol. A new first down in plus territory. Houston on the march, leveraging their physical running game about the 36-yard line.
Great job on that one. Caleb Thomas comes in, more of that fullback role. You know, Luke McGarry was a part of this tight end room and lost to an injury earlier this year. And Slade Nagel said, our plan kind of changed. We were doing a lot of 2 tight end work. You can present so many options to a defense that they've got to account for. And so losing him sort of made them change shape. But thankfully, Dean Connors and Amari Thomas both have helped offset those losses as we see Connors right now splitting out a wideout.
So second down and 7 from empty. I think the Bears felt QB run coming and still stumbling downhill to the 31 with a gain of 4. Connor Wigman shortens up third down.
See Wyckoff at guard getting up a little slow. after that last play. One of the pullers on that design quarterback counter all the way, trying to use Dean Connors as the motion man to pull another body out of the box. Set up a 3rd and short in what I think would be 4-down territory for Houston going into the half.
At the 3-minute mark, they need 3. Baylor stuffs it, and we're going to put Mike's theory to the test. I did have a thought that if Baylor got a stop there, they might consider using a timeout, right, to give themselves a chance to answer before the half. They've got 3 in their pocket. But if Houston's going to go for 4th down, and they will have to snap it on top of our 2-minute timeout, they might be just as well off.
And you saw Caleb Thomas come back in right now, so getting some big bodies, going to get up to the line of scrimmage quick, and I'd expect QB run.
Only need a yard. They're going to throw for it. They've got him out leveraged. Koziel. 1st down below the 15 for the Cougs.
And so they thought if I was expecting QB run, maybe the defense was as well. We saw Koziel out in the flat before. And this time you see Dean Connors looking like he's coming up as the lead blocker. Gets all those linebackers, Keaton Thomas and company, looking downhill. And you lose all 6'7" to Tanner Koziel somehow in the flat as he goes for the 1st down.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
With that gain of 13 yards, Houston on the march with a 14-6 lead as we head to our 2-minute timeout presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Say yes to this ride-on golf cart. And for larger vehicles, Sam's Club Roadside Assistance. Yeah, hi, I'm on the corner of Pants and Pork Rinds. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to Sam's Club's baked goods and to custom frosting.
Here you go, Chris.
I love it, it's perfect. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit, the teen transfer, married into the team, but acts like he's married to the team. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
Lucas, when 2 people love each other very much, right? Okay, imagine me and your mom. Don't do that. Imagine a magic hug that animals do.
Hey, Chris, you're out. Huntley, you're in.
Tyler Huntley, backup parent.
If only there were backups in real life.
What's up, little man? When 2 people love each other.
But at least there's Progressive to protect your home and auto.
Wow, I feel really prepared for life now.
Hey, Baker, what about killing that whole let Baker bake thing?
That's what I do. I bake.
You don't get it. A lot of people are saying that football is just selling food.
Hey, Baker, show the guys your new celebration. Put it in the oven?
Yeah, put it in the oven. No, Baker, don't put it in the oven.
Oh, I'm putting it in the oven.
Don't put it in the oven. No, don't shake off the heat. No, do not close the oven door. That's how the conspiracy theorists win.
Come on, nobody seriously thinks I'm out here selling
bread. When football makes you hungry, order Uber Eats.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, shop reliable appliances like LG with new features like mini craft ice to give this season and your holiday helpers even more to celebrate. Shop Black Friday savings with free delivery at the Home Depot.
This 2-minute timeout was brought to you by the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo. Earn unlimited 2% rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Welcome back to Waco. It's week 14. It's the regular season finale. Houston leading Baylor 14-6 and set for their 9th play of a 59-yard drive. They just picked up their second 4th down of the day. Rigman fakes, rolls, Koziel at the 10, knocked out. Kylan Reed, the sophomore linebacker from Arlington, limits the game to 5. Clock stops with 1:55 to go.
Seeing them mixing in a little more two tight end on this drive, trying to dictate the terms, right? Keep Baylor in more base personnel, get some big bodies out there in the second level, knowing you've got a receiving mismatch with Koziel that they've gone to now 3 times on this drive, including that pivotal 4th down.
Head coaches with all 3 of their timeouts deep in the half. Wigman. A tackle for loss by Kyler Jordan. 4th year at Baylor, it's -3. And the timeout taken.
Great job by Kyler Jordan. Setting that hard edge, comes down. Keeps his outside arm free on the pulling Matthew Wyckoff at left guard and makes a tackle. Baylor takes the timeout. So to your point, JB, before trying to see if they can hold them to a field goal, preserve some clock, and give Sawyer Robertson in this offense a chance to try and go drive the field and put points on the board before the half.
They're going to have to kick it off to Houston when we open up our 3rd quarter. Cougs have not trailed. Got 2 touchdowns, only a couple of field goals for Baylor.
Sawyer Robertson chomping at the bit on the sideline, just 8 of 15 for 89 yards through the air. A holding penalty undoing what could have been a rushing touchdown for him. Sure, he wants another crack at it here on Senior Day, try and get this crowd back into the game.
Connor Wigman and the Cougs have averaged better than 6 yards per play offensively in this half. Set up 2 by 2 and motioning to empty for 3rd down and 8. Wigman rumbling through Bears and planted at the 12. Timeout once again before 4th down, and we would assume a field goal try.
30 seconds in length. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute 43 seconds.
Wigman is giving way.
Nope, absolutely the right call. JB, you know, maybe if they had gotten down there and it's 4th and inches, you think differently about it the way you did before. But chance to make it a 2-possession game with the field goal here.
The Baylor defense, Benjamin not breaking there. And if they do rally to win this game and to punch their bold ticket, this stop deep in the half, knowing that Houston has the option to receive the second half kickoff, this could be an inflection point.
And appropriate, it's come off really the defensive effort today. Some big plays from the linebacker room. You go to the Keaton Thomas interception. Kyler Jordan helping set the edge there. We've seen Kalen Burns and Kylan Reed get in on the mix. That was a group that, going back to the Utah game, got challenged and called out by their head coach Dave Aranda. Said that was one of their worst performances. They weren't good enough in that game. And we've seen in the last 2 weeks that unit in particular respond to help lead this team.
Ethan Sanchez, 2nd in the conference in made field goals. Missed a couple last week. So far 2 for 2 in his extra points. Off the right hash, just inside of 30 yards. And no sweat for Ethan Sanchez. 17-6 with 1:40 to go before the break.
All right, you avoided the worst case scenario.
Take a look around the conference with Utah scoring 21 points in the 4th quarter to win in Lawrence yesterday. You mentioned the Territorial Cup, another second half shutout for the Wildcats in Arizona. They win that ranked showdown. Today, Texas Tech, if you thought they might go slumbering into Morgantown with their spot in the Big 12 championship game secured, no chance. And that BYU one is definitely one to watch. Down a touchdown at home against UCF.
Scott Frost and that UCF team, what better way to finish the season to play spoiler? We mentioned Brett Yormark's on the broadcast, the Territorial Cup last night, trying to stump in favor of BYU's place in the playoff field. But for Kalani Sitake and that team, you know all you can do is go out and handle your business and make it hard on them. Plenty of game left there, but interesting start to the day in the Big 12.
Houston better be careful with this kickoff. Cole Wilson brought it back 53 yards the last time he got his hands on it. One timeout, 1:40 left for Baylor. This will be a touchback. Sawyer Robertson on his senior day. And look, Utah here last time. Baylor was in Waco. Probably the most disappointing game of his career. And then last week at Arizona, you could argue, was worse. He's got one more crack at this thing against Houston.
And he's got plenty of time. He's got a timeout in his pocket. I love 2-minute drives because when you've got a quarterback that's maybe swimming a little bit after the last couple of games, settles you down, gets you out of your head and playing fast.
Good pocket. Batted right back at his feet. But Travion McCutcheon has made a position change, going from linebacker to jack, a better fit for his skill set. It's worked out really well.
Great job getting hands up on the inside that time by Xavier Tibbs, the big defensive tackle. Remember that ball that was intercepted in the red zone careened off a D tackle's helmet too, so active hands and heads from him.
Robertson rolls his pocket out on the edge. Flips it complete to Cameron for his first catch. 14 yards and a new first down for Josh Cameron, a former walk-on who's now one of the top 10 receivers in school history in terms of touchdown grabs.
Nice to see Cameron get in on some of the action right now. Great route at the top. You see him stop his feet, get out of bounds, stop the clock under 2 minutes, and get that first big chunk play they need.
90 seconds to go before the half. Robertson fading away from pressure and didn't have enough steam to get it back to Cameron. No Khalil Lau foul today on the defensive front for Houston, a name we should call out. You mentioned Xavier Tibbs. He's playing heavily in his stead.
McCutcheon in the backfield there again, greeting Sawyer Robertson in the pocket. So this front four for Houston getting a chance to pin their ears back into this drive.
Comes the blitz up the middle. It's picked up nicely. Klopfenstein had to go to the ground to make the catch, and so that'll stop him at the 43. Clock winding, 1 timeout left for Baylor.
Yep, still north of a minute, plenty of time here. Big third down, want to make sure everyone's situated. And then you got one of your best bullets in the chamber.
8-6 on third down. Robertson has it with a lunging Cole Wilson. In front of Rook Brown, one of the star defensive backs for the Cougs.
Triple extension. Cole Wilson having a fine day so far. His 4th catch on 4 targets.
Robertson ready. That's a smooth stroke to Cameron. 10 more and a first down below the 40-yard line of Houston.
Clock stops as they reset the change. And you see Sawyer Robertson, he's hitting his back foot and he's getting the ball out. He's working in rhythm. He looks as comfortable as we've seen him all day.
50 seconds, 1 timeout. Robertson again on time and on target to Cole Wilson, who hops below the 25. So now they're in field goal range. It's a pickup of 14 yards, 40 seconds as Hawkins stays ready.
And not substituting personnel, so this Houston defense looks like they're going to burn a timeout and get themselves settled down.
Houston takes their first charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length. 38 seconds. 3-8.
Another play where you see just off screen, Klopfenstein buying up some attention from linebackers and safeties. He's opened that second window for Cole Wilson a couple of times today. Him and Ashton Hawkins have been at those secondary routes where they've gotten them the ball in space and made some big plays. This drive, we talked about Baylor, the advantage of throwing on first down before, getting some cleaner looks. Now here in the 2-minute drill, they haven't been subbing. You're going with a little bit more pace. The defense doesn't have time to try and do as much. It sort of makes them vanilla on this drive. And Sawyer Robertson clearly seeing the picture better than he has all day.
Willie Fritz and the Cougs at 8-3 and 5-3 in conference. They've dropped 2 of their last 3 games. Trying to finish on a high note here and keep the path to a 10-win season still available. All 7 plays have been pass plays for Sawyer Robertson on this drive. He's got 38 seconds remaining. Here comes the rush. And he gets it out to another reserve tight end. The first down out of bounds below the 15-yard line. It's the second catch for Kelsey Johnson. That's twice as many as he had all season coming into this game.
So coming out of the timeout, what does the defense go to? An exotic. They bring that pressure off the left side, picked up just enough for Robertson to be able to throw and replace where the pressure had come from for a first down. That's using that timeout, try and present him a more complicated picture up front.
Caden Knight in the backfield, 3 up top, and it's Ashton Hawkins isolated left against the blitz. He's going to give Hawkins a chance. Well defended by Latrell McCutcheon.
McCutcheon, one of the vets here, started all 23 games since he arrived and looked like that left arm might have been doing a little bit. Now turned around, did a great job, a little arm fighting for both. That's a good no call out there and a great coverage rep by McCutcheon.
Time not really a factor now for Baylor on this drive. Reps are 2nd down and 10. To the end zone once more. And it's incomplete with no flags down. Kloffenstein the target. Kentrell Webb in coverage. It's 3rd and 10.
And to your point, JB, time not really an issue. Baylor, you've still got 1 timeout in your pocket. So, you know, if you're Sawyer Robertson and you see a lane to take off, but how about a spot where you miss Michael Trigg? We showed the highlight last year, one of those incredible catches in the end zone. Just not the same dynamic ability from Kloffenstein.
Josh Cameron, top and right for Robertson. He's looking left, and he drives one. Oh, it should have been picked off the face mask of Rook Brown. Kobe Prentice was the target, but Baylor, with 2 field goals on the board going into the half, will have to settle for another 3-point try.
I think he's just as stunned at us. That ball just, woefully behind Kobe Prentice and hit him directly in the face. That's usually the kind of scene reserved for like a romantic comedy.
Good thing Prentice got a piece too. That little deflection may have been worth 3 points. Before the field goal, Houston spends a timeout.
Houston takes their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds and less.
And Fritz, I think, lightened him up because he wanted that call before he got a chance to go out there and get a practice rep of the kick. Was trying to see if that ball maybe got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Just so off course. Doesn't appear to be, but like you said, Prentice getting just enough of a hand on that to disrupt the timing for Rook Brown.
Even 3 here, though, valuable certainly for Baylor to steal some of the momentum as Houston stalled out in the red zone. They put a field goal on the board, and this 11-play, 62-yard comeback drive was executed in just 1 minute and 21 seconds. Hawkins already good from 54 and 34, now from 30. Going into the break, and he stripes it. Connor Hawkins, building on a great freshman season. New score 17-9.
Like you said though, JB, you keep it a 1-score game. Sawyer Robertson got into a little bit of rhythm. You hope they can carry that over into the second half. The way he was able to go out there, and not only when it was easy, but towards the end of that drive after the Houston timeout, diagnose a couple of those pressures, get the ball out in the right spot. Certainly would like to have finished in the end zone with that last throw, but there's a lot to build on there for a Baylor offense that's been great between the 20s, but has to figure out that red zone at halftime.
Miranda told us this week about the current struggles here in Waco. You know, he's wondered to himself, is it a sign that you can't do it? Or is it a test of how bad you want it? I think those questions are still very applicable at halftime here. I imagine he'll deliver something similar to his student athletes with the rest of their season on the line in this second half. Fair catch signaled for and taken by Muse, and with only a timeout and 15 seconds left, knowing that Houston will get the ball to begin the second half, you imagine this is a knee and a break?
Yep. Get to the halftime locker room, juice boxes and orange slices, maybe an Uncrustable mixed in there, and talk it over with the boys.
We still have some leftover cupcakes from this morning if anyone would like one.
Tell you what, Magnolia folks know what they're doing over there in the bakery. My tailor's going to have his work cut out for him this offseason. November has not been kind to your boy.
Thanksgiving feast with some Saturday frosting. 17-9 after 2 quarters here in Waco. The 8-3 Cougs. The desperate 5.
And I will not say, but he's going to have these Houston Cougars ready to hopefully finish off this game strong.
All right, they'll begin with the football. Meantime, Baylor 5 quarters without a touchdown. They settle for 3 field goals in our first session. Here's Rigman, so far 12 of 16 for 127, a touchdown, and an interception that probably should have been holding or pass interference.
Yeah, so really, if you're on that Houston sideline offensively, Slade Nagel's telling them, hey, we've gotten everything we've wanted thus far today. We just got to continue to be consistent and take care of the football to the best of our ability.
Seen a mix of backs with Dean Connors leading the way. DJ Butler and Stacy Sneed have made plays as well for this Cougs offense. We play the second half of the regular season finale. It begins with a Koziel crash for a first down and 12 yards. DJ Coleman knocked him off his feet. Koziel was somewhat out of the mix last week. TCU, the Horned Frogs, they took him away. He's been heavily featured here today.
Yeah, 6th catch of the day to pace all pass catchers for Houston, and they've seen them effort a variety of ways to get him involved early and often in this offense.
Wigman, the junior from Cypress, Texas. Hands off Connors. Well defended by the Bears. Second down in the full sticks. Marion Winston in the mix. Micah Gifford in run support as well.
You see why Koziel is so effective for the offense right there. Still comes in motion. A willing blocker, maybe not the most dominant for a long-limbed 6'7" guy. That's tough to ask, but just enough so the defense has to account for that. Marion Winston knows he's going to come across the line and get physical, and that next time when he slips past, that's more easy yards in the flat for him.
Wigman ready to go again, part of the QB class of 2022. Has to come off his initial read, extending the play, racing for the sideline. So Baylor defensively has put Wigman and Houston in 3rd down and long.
It's one of the rare opportunities now for Baylor to get after them. You see them getting sub personnel on here. Matthew Fobbs-White coming in along with Marion Winston. So you've got some guys ready to rush the passer now as they get their nickel or dime package even on the field.
From Baylor's standpoint, you answered a field goal with one defensively. You get it back in the hands of Sawyer Robertson, down 1 possession. Wigman needs more than 10 on 3rd down. Oh, it's on target, but the route was shy of the line to gain. Marion Thomas makes a nice hands catch. Will Houston go for it on 4th and 1?
I think of the mobile quarterback and a head coach that we just heard was pretty ticked off at halftime. This seems like a great opportunity to do it. Another awesome throw and catch. Amari Thomas stretching out, getting that 1 foot down, but just short. And this is what we saw, 4th down before, using the threat of quarterback run to get Koziel out in the flat at tight end. You wonder here if they just give Dean Connors a chance to do this up the gut.
They motion him to the sidecar, and they'll let the quarterback do the dirty work. 1st down, Houston on 4th and 1.
Boy, great job of manipulating that pre-snap. You start off with Dean Connors in the pistol look, so it looks like he's going to come downhill, turn him into a lead blocker. And again, Connor Wigman does such a great job of seeing blocks develop on the interior. Not every quarterback, even the mobile ones, are built to run up between the tackles. He is.
Especially on 4th down, there is a sense to hurry that, to rush, to go get that yard. He's disciplined enough to wait for his blocks to develop and move the sticks. Second first down of this drive. Wants to launch off play action. Check it down. Connors dips his shoulder and takes it across midfield to the Baylor 47. Reggie Bush ran him out. It's a gain of 5.
This Houston offense picking up right where it left off. Both offenses, quite honestly, in the second quarter were money in between the 20s. Can they manufacture a big play here to maybe take the red zone equation out of it with 2 backs?
Stacy Snead, the second, joining the formation. Wigman ready to roll. 2nd down and 5. That's his longest run of the day. He's got 1 for 14. Butler has a 13-yard carry, and Wigman's got the 28-yard rushing touchdown. Dekes the run. Now spins one just beyond the reach of his talented tailback Connors.
Phenomenal job of discipline by this Baylor back end. Once again, you saw that timing that screamed quarterback run, and DJ Coleman running step for step with Dean Connors, making that a difficult throw that Wigman's got to lay out over the top, as we see that view from the ref cam. And a great signal right in frame of the shot.
Scott Gaines, our field judge, working double duty. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. Baylor eats it up. Keaton Thomas did his homework this week. He's got Houston behind the sticks.
Talked about the discipline of this Baylor team, but again, look at all the bodies upfield. Look at the penetration from Adonis Freelu on the inside, blowing up those pullers and disrupting the timing of the backfield.
Known passing situation here. Wigman 15 of 20 through the air. might have 2 plays to get this yardage, and so they will stick it on the ground, but that's going nowhere. Baylor smothers it on the 35-yard line. Caleb Burns in the mix defensively.
Matthew Fobbs-White right up around the line of scrimmage there too. Sometimes that's difficult. You call a run on a passing down with lighter personnel. You get these athletes matched up on you on the interior. Guys that, guys like me weren't used to seeing up on the inside. I want the big fellas, easy to hit, big targets, smaller body. Great job getting on an edge and forcing another kick.
With an 8-point lead and a 10-play drive into Baylor territory, it stalls out on the 35, and Fritz will show his punt team here. He's going to ask Liam Doherty to pin Baylor deep.
Or in Texas, it feels like Iowa right now. A punt this far in plus territory.
Definitely squarely in that fringe area, though, right? I mean, from here, you're looking at a 53-ish yard field goal.
Yeah, if you're not willing to let your field goal kicker.
Delay of game. Offense. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Offense is probably trying to get a little bit of wiggle room there for the punter, because JB, to go back to the initial point, if you're not comfortable with your field goal kicker going out here and taking a shot, I almost like the arm punt route here. Try and have your quarterback throw up a 50-50 ball, take a shot towards the end zone, and if it comes down, it's just as good.
They are moving into the wind currently. It's not straight in their face, but that may have played into the factor of whether or not to attempt a field goal. Let's see where they mark this punt out of bounds and how much field position the Cougs were able to win. They say across the sideline at the 10. Houston on the high side with 9:30 to go in the 3rd.
Where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here! I missed that because of you.
Hey, got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Whoa. I'll go get us tickets.
Only
Imagine that.
Psst, psst. Meet Earl. Earl, like all cats, craves food that's meaty and juicy. But in a dog-eats first world, he's never had food made with his needs in mind. Luckily, his human found Smalls. Smalls makes gently cooked fresh food that's junk-free. Just meaty, juicy, natural ingredients. Ready to make 9 lives 10? Visit smalls.com/TV to receive your first box.
Sawyer Robertson with a long field ready to go. Before he does here in the 3rd quarter, let's check in with Coy.
Baylor Sawyer Robertson is one of the best passers in the nation, also an incredible leader and a spiritual leader on this team. He baptized Monterey Baldwin this week, who'd been a wide receiver here the last 4 years. Did it in the rehab pools at the team facility. There have been others too. Coach Aranda told me some of his friends are asking, is Sawyer a priest baptizing these guys? He told me his star QB is the type of person who brings out the best in everyone around him, incorrigible work ethic, and in many ways, the heart and soul of this team.
Thank you, Coy. So thoughtful, so intentional. This is a big moment for him as he looks to extend his college football career. Incompletion to begin this drive. And I bring that up because in terms of the football dimension, right, they want Sawyer to actually kind of think less. The goal is to help him play free, because what makes him special is what they believe makes Baylor football special. But clearly these last couple of weeks, if you've been watching, it hasn't looked the same.
Yeah, Jake Spavital said he wants to go out there and do so well for everyone else. He's so other-focused. They don't want him to put that much pressure on himself down in and down out the way he has these last few weeks.
Able to spot Ashton Hawkins here. He's twisted back at the 17-yard line. So 3rd down and short upcoming for Robertson, who's closing in on RG3's record for completions in a season. Also within striking distance of RG3's school record for touchdown passes, but would need a bowl game and a big second half here.
Saw a nice big picture of RG3 and his Heisman out in the hallway on the way up here. So that name means something around here if you're going after those kind of records.
3rd down. Knighton has to make it work. What an athletic play. First to catch it, then to convert. Sione Fotu tracked him down with the tackle, but it's a 1st down for the Bears.
Great job lead blocking by Matthew Kloffenstein on the perimeter too. Gets just enough. A great cut by Knighton. And a much needed 1st down for this offense.
They'll run it, and Houston stacks it up. Nowhere for Knighton to go.
Well, Miles Parker, we've called his name a few times, getting down and dirty in the middle of the box. And my Uncle Bob was a nose tackle in the NFL for years, called it being a fire hydrant at a dog show. So it's not glamorous work down there in the trenches in the middle for Austin Armstrong's defense, but it's the engine, him and Carlos Allen, that make this whole thing go.
Miles has been best in show so far today. Inside of 8 to go in the third. Oh, a contested catch and nearly a pick. Ashton Hawkins was the target, but Will James, the reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, was out for more.
You see the way he broke on this ball. Just back inside way too much for Robertson. Forced 3 turnovers. Just the second player in the Big 12 this season to force 3 turnovers in a game, and the first Coug to do it since 2008 in a monster performance last week.
Remember, Houston opted to punt and play defense, trying to win it back here on 3rd down and long with a blitz coming. They hit Robertson. His throw is low and off target at the knees of Josh Cameron. And so on 4th and 12, you would expect the Bears to punt it away, still down 17-9.
And you're going to see this is part of the difficulty with Caden Knighton in the backfield. You're going to get a twist over on this side that involves the running back in protection. And so he's trying to come up. He's not exactly sure where to insert. You get that pick on the left guard's hip, and it's an easy protection. They're excited about Knighton and his potential, but getting young players in the backfield at running back into the protection scheme and understanding enough to be effective is a really difficult thing.
The best punters in the nation, Palmer Williams, will try and flip field position, but before he can, whistles and a penalty marker. Boy, he launched that thing. Some 55 yards on his first attempt. That will not stand.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Thank you.
So Houston making Willie Fritz look wise for punting in that fringe area. They get the stop on defense, and they're set up for great field position here. As you get a look from above. That'd be a punt unit for Baylor that leads the FBS in net punting behind the leg of Palmer Williams. They push Muse back to his 30. Coming back against the grain, and he climbed to the 34. So Houston football with an 8-point lead. The Cougs looking for a 9th win and a 6th in conference and an undefeated road schedule.
Welcome to the season of Yes and at Sam's Club. Say yes to this awesome basketball game. You know, for the kids. And to curbside pickup. Take it to the house! Just making sure it works. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Boys, put it right there. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Book now through December 2nd for 25% off during our cyber sale, exclusively in the Marriott Bonvoy app. Terms apply. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Atrubi is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. Atrubi helps slow the progression of ATTR-CM. People taking Atrubi were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Atrubi is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
The College Football Playoff.
12 teams enter, one national champion will be crowned. The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and 20th on ESPN and TNT.
Big 12 football on TNT Sports is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Speaking of good hands, this is good parenting right here. Mike, I've seen your future, and it looks a lot like this.
I say one of the many doppelgangers. Every bald, bearded white man on earth looks the same, and that's one of my brothers in arms right there. Ball security is job security, baby security, even more important, fully strapped.
Houston would like to demonstrate some ball security, running the rock with the lead on the road against the Baylor Bears. DJ Butler, part of this three-headed tailback attack. Caleb Burns, a freshman linebacker, gets the run stop.
Linebacker group for Baylor has been awesome today. All these guys stepping up to make plays. Burns, a true freshman, helping out on that down and distance. They've come out of the halftime locker room with some renewed vigor, and they're going to have to keep that up and try and give this offense enough chances to get online.
We've said this, but just to restate it, no Jacob Redding, the sophomore safety who's been one of their best today. Wigman from the pocket, launches, and his receiver could not put eyes on. There is a flag, however, back at the 40.
Yeah, I think he got a little tug on that jersey midway through that route.
Caldre Williford and Kobe Young in a matchup of 18s.
Talking this one over. Maybe trying to determine holding versus
Pass
PI.
interference, number 18, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
All right, so top of the screen up here, you see the matchup, and it's right in the middle of this route. Again, you see that stutter, that double move, and that tug on the jersey right there. You know, better than giving up the deep score. If you're a defensive back and you know you're going to get beat, double move out an island there, you'd rather take the 15-yard penalty than the touchdown and them striking up the band. So actually a good play once you've been beat by the double move.
They respot the ball. The sun breaks through for the first time today. A little bit of rain this morning, but relatively pleasant conditions for the last weekend of November. Here at McLean Stadium, the home finale for the Baylor Bears, still a win shy of bowl eligibility. They've lost 4 of 5 after starting 4-2. New first down for Wigman. Here's Connors with some shake in the hole. Made the first defender miss. And he churns to the 46, a gain of 6.
Somewhat quiet day for Connors out of the backfield so far, just 3.5 yards per carry, but once again showing up as a pass catcher, showing up as a lead blocker. He does a little bit of everything for this offense.
Willie Fritz has won everywhere he's been. He's won with the Mules, and now he's trying to win with the Cougs, going back to his D2 days at Central Missouri. And Connors leading the way for his quarterback, and he's dashing down the hashes. Wigman to the 4. Devin Bobby saves a touchdown for now. Wigman already has a 28-yard rushing touchdown. Here's a 41-yard scamper.
And they went back to the well on the same play, but you're right. Watch Dean Connors here on the perimeter get the assist with his tight end Tanner Koziel. This time, it's Jaquise Martin with the pin down block. And so you get 2 big skill players at the point of attack down there against an overmatched defensive back. You see Connors right here ends up pulling a little double duty with Koziel there and springing his quarterback down inside the 5.
Wigman brings a man in motion behind Connors again. Yanked down just inside the 1-yard line. He was bent awkwardly as he hops to his feet to snap it again on 2nd and goal.
Check the ball right here. Great strength play by Wilson, pulling him back there. And you're just glad his feet got out from underneath him. Anytime you see that twist, reminiscent of that hip drop tackle we see always talked about at the NFL level. Glad everyone walked away in one piece there.
Winston makes him snap it again. Wigman over the right side. And the battering Ram quarterback puts it in the paint again. His second rushing touchdown of Week 14, and Houston opens it up to 23-9.
You mentioned the battering ram, JB. Once again, the patience by Connor Wigman. We've talked about that for these gun runs, but this time on a quarterback sneak to sort of step back, find that soft spot, and then lunge and get it over the goal line. Another banner day for him on the ground.
How much do you appreciate that as a former lineman yourself, to have a rusher, running back or quarterback, who will give you time to win your battle?
It's massive, as we see the extra point up and good here. Putting a guy on a defender, making it easier for me to block because they have so much to account for. It's an offensive lineman's dream, and that's what Connor Wigman's been once again today for Houston. 24-9 here in the third.
I can't find the game.
Xfinity has all the best live and streaming games in one place. All you gotta do is speak it into the remote.
Houston Rockets.
See? Magic.
Pepperoni pizza and Reggie Miller.
Oh! Brick oven, extra cheese. And you could bring up Indiana Pacer stats.
What are you gonna do next? Walk on water? And then they have all the odds right there.
I'll be watching the game poolside.
Marco!
Polo! Is that my swimsuit? It's like a glove. He stays in great shape.
I love it here.
Spend less time making drinks and more time making memories. Introducing Bartesian. The perfect pour every time. For every cocktail at your party.
Learn more at Bartesian.com.
Third career game with multiple rushing scores for Connor Wigman. On the road here in Waco, he's got his Cougs on top 24-9. Last week, 114 rushing against TCU, most by a UH quarterback in 5 years. Today, 89 and counting with those 2 touchdowns. Cougs looking for an undefeated road campaign for a 9-win season on their way to a bowl. 5 Big 12 wins, already a high water mark, and they got a chance to finish 6-3. Cole Wilson's had the most explosive plays of the day in the kick return game. He leaves it at the 36. 24-9 Baylor with the football. 40 amateur dunkers, 6 episodes, 1 shot at $200,000. And the title of Dunk Man. Catch the premiere of Dunk Man Thursday at 7 Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max.
Can honestly say that's one title I will never hold. I could dunk for like 1 day in my entire life, and it's because the driveway I had was on a downward angle. Got a good running start. Small hands.
So 0 for 10-foot rims is what you're saying in your career?
It's a battle I have continued to lose and will never attempt.
Sawyer Robertson has an uphill climb, and his first attempt of a new drive is knocked out of the hands of Kloffenstein.
Great job in coverage by Jalen Garner on that play. We had seen Robertson stick one to the ribs of Kloffenstein earlier in the first half of this game.
Garner's that Coug that people don't talk about enough, according to Austin Armstrong, the defensive coordinator. Had a career-high 9 tackles last week. PBU there. Down the line. They link up with Kobe Prentice. He breaks one. Prentice with some pop. Well, he had the first touchdown of the season here against Auburn, and 6 of his 22 catches coming into today were touchdowns. He nearly took this the distance.
It's a great job. Also, the blocking on the perimeter on this play by Ashton Hawkins gets his hands out just in time to avoid a holding call that could have neutralized all of that.
After a 34-yard catch and run, Joseph Dodds twisting for 6. Blake Thompson with the tackle for Houston.
Once again now, Baylor nearing the red zone. That's been lava for them so far today. Got to see if they can try and strike from distance.
About 87 minutes of game time, Mike, since their last touchdown last week, first quarter in Tucson. Well, leveraging their weight room for a first down here. The scrum still going. They'll settle at the 19.
Everyone gets to smell what they all had for pregame meal for a little bit. Nice lather in the middle in that rugby scrum, but now we see the Twins wide receiver sets and Sawyer alone in the backfield.
Straight ahead QB run. Shakes off the first hit and is toppled at the 12. Blake Thompson again, limiting the game to 7. Robertson keeps the Bears ahead of schedule as they look to answer back the Houston touchdown.
You look here, got a little grip on that face mask. Looks like the refs missed that one. Maybe more of a glancing blow than an actual grab. This is shot territory right here. 2nd and short, down in the red zone. Try and see if you can get maybe Ashton Hawkins alone on the outside.
He's at the bottom of the formation as you view it. It's Kelsey Johnson in motion. Nowhere to go for Caden Knighton. And so it's 3rd down. Kentrell Webb among those closing the door on that rush attempt. And there's an injured offensive lineman for the Baylor Bears. No, it's the running back, actually. It's Knighton down.
Got Knighton down. Carlos Allen, star defensive tackle for Houston, also down on the turf right now, is just sitting upright.
So on a day in which they began without Michael Turner and lost Bryson Washington on the first drive of the game, another Baylor running back is facing injury. Meantime, Carlos Allen Jr., I mean, a reputation as one of the best run defenders in the Big 12, if not the country. He's got 4 or more tackles in the past 10 games for an interior defensive lineman. That's an astounding streak. He's the first to his feet.
When we called their game against Oklahoma State, he was leading the team in tackles, playing defensive tackle. Has the 3rd most tackles in FBS football amongst D linemen. So just an incredible athlete at that size in the middle, able to work through all that space, and appears little limp going to the sideline right now. Hopefully it's just some cramping, but now the attention turns back to Knighton, who
the longer he remains on his front side, the more concerning it feels.
Yeah, you see them sort of reaching underneath the back plate there. Anytime we're dealing with anything maybe related to the back or neck, is always the utmost caution from these staffs. Do a phenomenal job of trying to prioritize the health and safety of these players, especially in these critical areas. Try and give you a look at what happened here as Knighton twisting, and oh, you see hit right in the middle of the back while he's rolling that way. Oh.
Here comes the backboard.
You see extremities moving, all the important things that you want to see there anytime a back or a neck injury is involved. Hopefully this is one of those situations where it's an abundance of caution as the Baylor sideline, either on the field or on a knee right now, hoping for the best for one of their teammates.
Knighton is a freshman from Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, a highly touted recruit. Had a career-high 104 yards rushing in the win over UCF. Another 100-yard game last week. On his 8th carry today, he suffered this injury.
You see this whole Baylor team rallying right now. It's one of the toughest moments as a player, is watching a guy that you've been working with since January, all through the offseason. You know his family, you know what he's been through to get to this point, to get to this opportunity. And now, while you're trying to worry about handling your business on the field, that larger picture creeps back in as these guys all sharing a moment sure sending a prayer, a positive thought, whatever they can to their brother, hoping that he winds up all right, and this is something they can look back on and be thankful comes out on the other side of this well as the cart makes its way onto the field.
Houston Cougars on a knee as well.
Always in these moments want to certainly show some gratitude to these medical staffs, everyone responding when called upon in these moments. You hope to go through a game and never have to see these people on the field, but training, everything they've put in to be able to give these student athletes the best possible chance of coming out on the side of this. And we see got the face mask off the helmet there and have Caden Knighton flipped over on his back now on that backboard.
Coy, what can you tell us?
You can see the woman there in green. Coach Aranda leaned over to some of his staff members and said, make sure his family knows, come down, be with their family member here, Caden Knighton, taking an elevated role today. Of course, Bryce Washington earlier in the game had to leave, and Caden was out here fighting for his team. And now they're going to lift him up and put him on this stretcher, and hopefully he's okay. As Mike mentioned, hopefully this is all out of an abundance of caution. His teammates are all here, some of them with tears in their eyes as they're some down on one knee, and they've already said a group team prayer. But again, as you can see, Caden's family there alongside him, crowd starting to applaud, letting him know that they're behind him 100% of the way. The Houston Cougars as well, all out here on the numbers of their sideline to wish Caden hopefully that he's well and will have a speedy recovery.
Glad they were able to find a family member, get them down there. See him talking alert right now, so. And that thumbs up that everyone's waiting for. You see the emotions pouring out of Caden Knighton there. It's already a day full of a lot of emotions coming in. And that's things that feel trivial now, right? You're talking about senior day, the celebration of all these guys. And you get that reality check in this moment. Now comes the toughest part, in my mind, of playing this sport is that cart's going to go off the field. They're going to blow the whistle, and there's going to be another play that happens after this. And everything you just went through, mentally, emotionally, in that moment with your teammate, you now have to somehow compartmentalize. It's one of the wildest parts looking back on being an athlete, and I'm sure Coy can attest to this as well, the ability to section that off and to go back out there and put yourself in the same situation that just turned out that result. It is a level of mental toughness that you never want to see put to use, but we're going to on this next play, whether we like it or not.
To all the friends and families and loved ones of Caden Knighton, we are going to continue to call this game, of course, but know that we do so with his health and safety and well-being top of mind, and it would Be our goal. It would be our hope. Not to rush anything, but to hopefully bring you good news about his health before we're through here today in Waco. When we resume, 3rd down and 3. With Sawyer Robertson searching for a first down and planted instead right at the line of scrimmage. Xavier Tibbs shuts down that 3rd down try. And the offense staying on the field for Baylor here for 4th down and 3.
Yeah, I think this is the right move. You had too many drives ended kicks. Quite honestly, right there, I think a read by Sawyer Robertson that he might want back. There was a lot of space up the gut had he handed that football off. But once again here, you got to try and make something happen and have this drive into the end zone.
Baylor top 3 in the country in both 4th down attempts and conversions. Got to have it here. 4th down and 3. Incomplete. No laundry down. Cameron the target. Latrell McCutcheon Sr. wins this round, and Houston takes over on downs.
Well, I'll be curious to see the replay because that looked awfully physical at the top of that right now. Latrell McCutcheon had a couple of great coverage reps today. So this is good on good right at the top. Locked up, both physical. Actually, it's a good no call in my mind. You could argue there was just as much of a push off from Josh Cameron on that play. Maybe a little handsy right there. And a lot of times when you throw your hands up like that, but just a physical play. I don't love the play call in that moment, if I'm being honest. A goal line fade on 4th down there that doesn't put your quarterback's legs in as an option and give you the ability to get that first down.
Now the game in Houston's hands. The football in a 24-9 lead. Dean Connors sifting through the right side and pulled back. Matthew Fobbs-White continues to flash in the running game.
This linebacker group's played really downhill for most of the day and most of the time. Dave Aranda's defense largely quarters based, so you've usually got 2 high safeties back there, the corners on the outside, other man are working back. Everyone's playing downhill right now. Play action could be on the menu for Houston here soon to exploit some of that aggressiveness from these linebackers.
Wigman and Houston content to shorten this game a little bit. Play clock at single digits as he takes the shotgun snap and follows his tailback. And spinning off the hit to the 17-yard line. 3rd down awaits Connor Wigman and the Cougs.
Baylor in this defense, you got a chance to force the issue here. Turns into an Auburn's passing situation. Let's see if they choose to bring pressure. We talked about the chess match. You see Wigman and company looking at their wristbands, going 5 wide to the play to try and spread them out and give Wigman a great look at what's coming from this Dave Aranda coordinated defense. Called defense, I should say.
After the Bears failed on 4th down in the red zone, now can the defense get a 3 and out, get the football back. Wigman needs 6. Baylor does its part. A 3 and out there off the grass in the final seconds of the 3rd.
Great stand by Baylor on defense, coming off the turnover on downs. I think Wigman thought he had man-to-man coverage there. You saw Dean Connors come back in, a linebacker followed, but then they settled in there on either side. And when all of a sudden he didn't get that matchup and they're sitting there watching his eyes, watching the back, he dirts that one with no other option and lives to punt. But great response from that defense in a tough situation.
Cameron, who was just the target in the end zone on that 4th down try, stands on the 41 as he awaits this Doherty punt. It's a low spiral and a bad kick that goes out of bounds somewhere near midfield. And so that hardly costs Baylor much of anything. Only yardage, very little time. They'll get it back before the 3rd quarter expires, and it's only a 33-yard punt. TNT is your new home for Big East basketball. Watch Xavier take on St. Francis Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on True TV and HBO Max.
And you're spot on, JB. Special teams has been in favor of Baylor all day between the return game, some of these punts. The offense has to pay this off for the other 2 phases of the game that so far have been able to hold up their end of the bargain.
Robertson begins a new drive with a handoff to Joseph Dodds. Well blocked. Good knock. Eyeing this down. Our first season of TNT Sports covering Big 12 football, and it has been such a joy as Cole Wilson takes it out of bounds with the first down. You know, from Brett Yormark and Kari Black and Tyrell Kirkham and Matt Enzer and all the way down. Our gratitude, we cannot begin to express it. And this holiday season, we're just so thankful for this opportunity.
We really are. Everyone in this conference has welcomed us in. It's such a great responsibility that we have to tell the stories of these players, the coaches, the fan bases, and it takes a lot of people to make that go, as we see the Cole Wilson first down reception there. And certainly our thanks to all the SIDs, the administration around these teams that help give us what we need to go out here and try and make this as an enjoyable experience we can for everybody involved.
Yeah, Rhett Ingram and his staff from Baylor, Fletcher Like and his group from Houston, their contributions to this broadcast and this season invaluable, as are so many members of these sports information staffs across the Big 12. We started by saying that we had the privilege of covering in person 13 of the programs. This is our 9th campus here in Waco that we were able to visit this year.
It really is amazing to get to parachute in on a conference where, you know, when I was a college player, I didn't get to play a ton of Big 12 schools during my time at Notre Dame. And so to get to see what makes this place tick, what's special, and what has everyone excited around here is always such a unique opportunity, and one that we certainly don't take for granted.
Robertson giving his target a chance and bringing out the flag. Cole Wilson matched up with McCutcheon again.
I think that flag's got a good chance to go against Cole Wilson there. It looks like OPI on that play, doing everything he could to try and keep that from going the other way.
Pass interference, defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
McCutcheon, who just got a win on a 4th down ball to the end zone, this time hit with a penalty.
See right here, he's got his head around trying to make a play, and again, I don't know, that looked like a tackle from Cole Wilson on that play. I'm a little surprised that went. I guess you can see the hands right there on McCutcheon. Maybe the call, but now we get the moment I've been waiting all day for. We got Colton Saraki in at the jumbo tight end stump.
So a 6-OL look here with Kloppenstein in the formation as well. That's doing nothing. Houston rallies to hit it hard. Second effort gets the ball down near the 1-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal for the injury-depleted running back room for Baylor. Eddie Walls among those defensive linemen, able to keep it out of the end zone for now.
What a great opportunity for this defensive front. We mentioned Xavier Tibbs, a little uptick in time because Khalil Laufau out for the day. Chance to try and continue to make the penetration they've made all day and shut this down.
2 tight end set here. Dodds did not get in. 3rd and goal.
What a fill by Fotu, coming downhill and setting that tone off Dodds in the backfield. Boy, Jake Spavital talks about leaving it all out here. This feels like a spot where we've seen a couple rushing attempts from Sawyer Robertson try and get +1 to account for this aggressive defense and ride him to the promised land.
Can Baylor break this touchdown drought early in the 4th quarter? It's Dodds with his first Bears touchdown. The freshman from Markham, Texas is in, and this game is on.
On right now, the Baylor offense going to stay on the field here in the 4th quarter, try and make this a 1-score game. I should say it would be a 1-score game either way, but knowing at this point you were down, 15, going for 2 on the front end, so you've got more information for that next time around. This just came up in the NFL a couple of nights ago.
Robertson looking for 2, has the blocks, and he spills into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. The 6th 2-point conversion of the season for Baylor, and on senior day, Sawyer's not done.
Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Leave him! It's a mascot! Oh, what's this? A fan has run out onto the field, and he's not wearing pants.
Do birds need pants?
And the control room censored it.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, ultra smooth taste, just 29 calories.
Hey, let's get out there.
Stay in the game with Michelob Ultra Zero.
You on guard tonight? Oh, nah. They just got Simply Safe. It protects the whole home, inside and out.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Whoa!
That was impressive.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Oh, hey. Oh, I can help. I'll get my shoes, do a quick stretch.
Right now, get 15% off, plus free white glove delivery. Always stretch. Experience the difference at Jordan's.
Should we give him a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The holidays are here. The BMW Black Friday sales event on now. Lease the 2026 BMW X1 xDrive 28i for $499 per month.
Do it yourself. Not if we can help it. And right now, get 15% off, plus free white glove delivery. I guess I don't need this. Experience the difference at Jordan's.
If the Big 12 is going to get two teams in the college football playoffs, then BYU must win this game. UCF up 14-0 after one, but two L.J. Martin touchdowns and a field goal have BYU up 17-14 at the half. It's going to be BYU Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship game. JB?
Well, thank you, Lefko, and I'm reminded to send our thanks to the studio in Atlanta as well. Everywhere we go on this Big 12 tour, everyone's so thrilled for you and your teammates to shine the light on these programs and this league. So your attention to our game every week is very much appreciated. Jaquise Martin with that return, and as much as we appreciate Lefko, we appreciate the calories around the Big 12 just a little bit more.
Boy, I tell you what, the eats we've had this year, from pancakes that look more like cake to burnt ends, Booth chimichangas in Tucson, little Sonoran hot dog in the mix as well. I wouldn't be a Golic if I wasn't eating on camera. Eating a hot dog on camera in 2025 with the internet, dangerous place to be too. And God gives his toughest battles to me, his strongest soldier.
We kicked off in Tucson in prime time, and we finish in Waco. The afternoon sunlight, deep in November. Wigman able to navigate that pocket and get forward for positive yards. They grant him the 27, nearly the 28-yard line. Coy, what's the latest?
Oh, my favorite food moment of the season, guys. We're eating wings, and Golic is going to town like a pit bull that hadn't eaten in a week. All of a sudden, I get hit on the side of the head with some shrapnel. Dude lost his grip, and the wing flew across the table and hit me. I mean, what kind of grip and torque do you have to have on a wing for it to go flying out of your hand? Only Golic.
Shout out to Q39 Barbecue as the pass goes incomplete there. I don't know what you want me to tell you, Coy. You were in the splash zone. It's like being at SeaWorld. If you're going to be near the animals when they're doing their thing, that's what comes with the territory.
Defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Tevin Williams there.
See Williams out here, the guilty party. And that grab right there, easy to spot for the officials. Amari Thomas, whose name we haven't called in a little bit, dynamic route runner, difficult to stay with, and sometimes prompts you get a little handsy.
New first down for Houston, a middle run. DJ Butler stuttered his feet and found the crease. Head for positive yardage to the 39-yard line as Houston looks to extend their lead, trying to get this back to 2 possessions and shrink the clock on Baylor.
Boy, that zone read, that end was crashing down pretty hard. They go back to that. Connor Wigman could have a keep for some big yardage if this Baylor defense keeps up the aggressiveness.
Butler 10 carries, 50 yards. Wigman just has to fling it out of bounds. Edge rush in his face from Caleb Burns. who also had an offer from Houston as a prep. It's 3rd down and 7.
Overload blitz off the right side of the formation. You're going to see everyone crashing down, and a great job outside of staying at the quarterback's height, going back upfield and challenging that throw they were trying to dump off. Now here, 3rd and long. Get a chance to rush the passer and try and force another punt.
Baylor wants the football back. Down a touchdown. 11 minutes to go. Wigman takes off. He's over 100 yards rushing today, but he's 2 yards shy of the line to gain. His 3rd game with over 100 rushing this season.
Phenomenal open field tackle by Caleb Burns there. I think for a second, Wigman thought he had man coverage and figured he might keep running with him. Burns settled down and made a play, and the Houston offense staying on the field. Willie Fritz trying to send that message to his team.
See the line to gain. Dean Connors steps into the backfield. Kobe Young, Amari Thomas are the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Thomas the motion man. Sprint out. Wigman throws to the flat. It's incomplete. And Baylor takes over in plus territory.
Woo, buddy. All of a sudden, a little life in this Baylor crowd. The defense, which has done a phenomenal job continuing to give its offense chances. Remember, Baylor on 4th down before went for a similar play, but for Tanner Koziel at tight end, designed rollout to one of your best receivers. And a great job, Devin Bobby, one of the true tales of improvement, development on this team for Baylor, getting a hand in the frame here and turning it back over. Risky decision from Willie Fritz, even for me, who's a video game tactician. Probably a little aggressive for my blood, given this now a 1-score game.
And now a productive run right down the middle of the field. Joseph Dodds just scored his first touchdown, now rips off a chunk of 12 yards.
They've got light box looks like this. When you see 5 guys in the box like this, you can go and run it. Gives your offensive line a chance to get up to the 2nd level, and if a guy moves out of place, those are easy looks for them to go up there and say, hey, until you're going to put another body in the box, we're going to keep handing it off.
Bears on the front foot now. Robertson has all day to deliver. Spectacular coverage once again on a pass breakup intended for Cameron. Will James slow to get up after making another plus play.
I mean, he is strapped to these wide receivers, down in and down out. You can see why he was so disruptive a week ago. He's always around the football as soon as it's launched.
I mean, that career day was spoiled by a loss, remember, so he's trying to prevent that from happening here. Again, daring the Bears to run, but this time, Brandon Mack hits it hard. No gain, 3rd down, and the full sticks here with 9.5 to play. Baylor looking for the tying touchdown.
Brandon Mack going to be the one looping in here. You've got a secondary pressure coming down, so he's stunting inside. You get that pick from Xavier Tibbs, number 41. Just a great run stunt on an early down by Austin Armstrong.
Sawyer Robertson at the switch, the senior from Lubbock, Texas, in his final home game in Waco. A 3rd down throw, and it's knocked away from Cameron. Same matchup, Will James dominating.
See if everyone's going to keep their foot down on the gas here. Another one, Will James playing off coverage. Perfect timing on that. Understands and gets his hands right in between the mitts of Josh Cameron. And I like this as a 4th down go call. Your defense has responded well all day, giving you the ability to take chances like this in enemy territory.
Rush up the middle. Robertson spins one. 4th down. Got it! Senior to senior. A dot and a potential tying touchdown. 31 yards, and this one went through Will James.
They took advantage of that aggressiveness that we saw from Will James, breaking up that last pass. So this time they called double move for Josh Cameron. They give him a chance to go and put his imprint on this game on senior day. And he took it and quite literally ran with it. What a 4th quarter start by this Baylor team.
Extra points for the tie. And we have a new game in Week 14, the regular season finale in Waco. The 9th receiving touchdown for Josh Cameron. Sawyer Robertson in the clutch on 4th down.
You know, I've always found it strange. People really want to save money, but are so willing to toss their hard-earned coin into a 3-foot pool of disappointment.
I want to be rich.
But you don't need to throw your money away. All you need is your phone.
Huh.
No. Go to Geico, get a quote, and you could save $900 with your phone.
Look at that, it's ringing.
What? What are you doing, mate?
I'm going in.
It feels good to save some coin. It feels good to Geico.
And building a new medical school from the ground up. Momentum is more than just moving forward. It's being unstoppable. Can't stop Houston. Can't stop us.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot. Playing the Bushnell December 9th through 14th. Tickets at bushnell.org.
My son's already in the car. Bye.
I think you're wonderful.
Cut your mobile bill in half and save $65 a month for your first year with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity, imagine that.
For the 5th straight game, and in his final home game, Josh Cameron has a touchdown reception. This 31-yarder ties it up.
They tried the aggressiveness of Will James, who had gotten his hand on a couple footballs on that drive, with the stutter go, double move, beats him clean. And that's best on best, your reigning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. And how about the ref cam with the close-up of a dance I definitely don't know the name of? I'm so old now.
And would not dare execute.
No, God, I'd pull something.
Houston with a chance to return, and they'll begin from the 26 as we send it down to Coy Wire.
This week, offensive coordinator Jake Spavital named one of the nominees for the Broyles Award given to the nation's top assistant. I asked him what's his superpower as a coach. He says he believes it's his ability to build relationships with his players. His quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, wanted to know how he could be great like some of the other QBs he's coached, like Geno Smith, Johnny Manziel, and he told him, I don't want you to be Geno or Johnny, I want you to be Sawyer Robertson. He said last year Sawyer was on eggshells a bit. This year he's chucking it, letting it rip, just like we saw on that gutsy double move call to tie this game, JB.
All right, Coy, you see the story there. All 15 points in this fourth quarter belong to Baylor. Connor Widman relying on his legs on first down. A minimal gain. Jackie Marshall sends it back.
And boy, this drive, the Houston offense got to help out their head coach. Willie Fritz took a big risk on that 4th and 3 call, backed up in their own end that led directly to those Baylor points. Now got to go out here and pay off that confidence with a well-executed drive, with this Baylor defense feeling themselves this half.
Tie for the first time since we kicked off. Wigman has the protection, has an open receiver, and Thomas sliding for a first down catch at the 42.
Play action took advantage of those aggressive linebackers up near the line of scrimmage. You see them bailing out, trying to get back in those windows. And man, if he puts that a little more on him, there's a lot of room to run with all that vacated space in front of him. Good job by Thomas just to get underneath that.
He secures a 14-yard grab, a new first down for Houston. Connor's now on the right hip of his quarterback. Mosiel, the tight end, trying to blast open a hole. You know, Baylor knew that they would be tested with QB run because that's Houston's identity, and because the last game they played on this field, Utah ran roughshod. I think they've answered the bell.
Certainly, and I mean, even that Utah game, it was 3 65-plus yard touchdown runs that were really the story. Otherwise, they've done a lot of what we've seen here today. Houston's going to need a couple of wrinkles off that play because Baylor's keyed in.
Wigman sets the laces, unloads quickly. Once again, it's Thomas going to the ground at the 49-yard line. Wigman's 2 explosive runs the difference so far today. The 28-yard touchdown and a 42-yard carry that set up another score. Now can they move the chains on 3rd down? This has been their issue. They'll have to do it without Mackenzie Agnello, their starting guard. Jason Brooks has played a ton there as well. Houston 0 for 4 on 3rd down in this second half. A money down and a tie game. Great design. They get it to Thomas to move the chains. Amari Thomas with 6 and a new 1st down.
We talked about the wrinkle they'd need, JP. This is the example. You've got everything this way. 2 tight ends. Dean Connors there looking like the lead block. And that linebacker level, got to stay home for that threat of the quarterback run that's been a staple for this team. You get a one-on-one matchup with Amari Thomas going east and west, and a great 1st down.
Slade Nagel with a timely call. Approaching the 6-minute mark across midfield. Wigman feeling the heat. Does well to save the yardage. Lives to see 2nd down. Kylan Reed on the pressure.
Incredible job to just get this ball off. They were trying to work the throwback to Dean Connors out of the backfield, but Kylan Reed just there too quick. Picks that ankle, and Wigman lucky enough to get that off and in range, out of bounds in time.
It's like a superhero incompletion there. A beautiful in slow motion. Looking to break a 24-up tie. As receiver lost his feet. Amari Thomas stumbling out of his break, and so 3rd down and 10. 6:04 remaining.
Lost his feet there, but tough time for the sun to come out right here. These receivers looking back directly into that bit of sunlight peeking over right now. As this probably 4-down territory if they can eat enough up here. We saw Willie Fritz already willing to be aggressive, and now in plus territory seems like a much better time for that.
McLean Stadium into it. Having rallied for the tie, trying to get after Wigman. He checks it down. Dean Connors shouldered out at the 40. I think you're right. That should be enough to keep the offense on the field. Houston did not convert on 4th and 2 on its last drive. Fritz doubling down on 4th down.
And I like the call here a lot more. Well out of field goal range. Tied game, you could argue maybe for the punt, but I'd rather keep your foot down as points have started to pile up in Baylor's favor.
Watch Koziel, one of his favorite targets in the left slot. Rips one to the sideline, and it's caught! Amari Thomas keeps the drive alive. Working against DJ Coleman.
Incredible job getting those hands out. You see that arm underneath, firm control going to the ground, and DJ Coleman's a great player, but that matchup, advantage Amari Thomas every time. Great job by Wigman identifying that in the pre-snap and getting the ball in the hands of their best receiver.
Right, firm control, the phrase that was so critical there, because yes, that ball may have hit the turf, but he never lost possession of it. Wigman finds his tight end, Koziel, hurtling to the 25.
Offense seems to be back on the front foot again, right? All this Baylor pressure is why you've seen them work to the perimeter like that. Try and spread things out the way they did in that last play. This is something since the 2nd quarter we've seen Houston do a ton of. Just an easy RPO with your tight end working out to the flat to try and get some yards on 1st down.
They give Connors a chance, ripping through that first tackle and carrying Keaton Thomas downhill for a 1st down at the top of the red area.
This Baylor defense is bowed up all day long, forcing huge stops that gave the offense a chance to get this team back, tie this game up. Can they muster it again down here as the ball just getting ready to scrape the 20?
.24 apiece at the 4-minute mark. Wigman loses yardage.
They went back to the well one too many times on that. Tyler Turner sniffed that out. Boundary side of the field, they try and run quarterback toss again and able to get over the top of that pin down block and force him backwards. We've seen that play hit Wigman down near the end zone once, get him in the end zone another time. It's been a staple for Houston today.
Saw Tanner Koziel off the field for 2nd down and 11. Houston held a 15-point lead in this 4th quarter, trying to recapture it with Connors on the edge and knocked out at the 12. Micah Gifford with the hit. 3:18 to go, and Houston in position to go back in front.
Great job by Connors putting a foot in the ground and making Caleb Burns miss right in the hole. We always said as the O-line, it's our job to get you up to that 2nd or 3rd level, and then the running back's got to quote-unquote block that guy on his own. Connors erasing him there. Give them a much more 3rd and manageable here, where once again this is the challenge because quarterback run's your biggest concern, but we've seen Houston beat them with wrinkles off that the previous handful of big money downs.
Since the tying touchdown from Cameron, 13 plays, 61 yards for Houston going the other way. They've had it for 5.5 minutes. Wigman looking for Koziel, and the flag comes out at the goal line. 2 officials saw it.
Great call here, Koziel, to try and get him freed up. You just get a switch route on the outside. That puts the defender in a trailing position where that flag comes out.
Pass interference, number 3, defense. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line.
You can see it again, coming down in here. Koziel coming on the outside. Now all of a sudden you got Devin Bobby trailing a little bit. Big-bodied Koziel, who you know has that radius to go up and make a big catch if the timing's there. Good look at it from the ref cam. How about 6'7" Tanner Koziel coming right at you. First person look at the flag launch too. Love that.
Both head coaches with all 3 timeouts remaining. We're still on top of the 2-minute timeout. A prolonged march for the Cougs. 13 plays, 61 yards. Here's Dean Connors into the pile. Repelled at the 1.
Getting big, you got the true freshman, Chance Bryant, defensive player by trade, but is moonlighted at fullback down in these goal line packages, trying to lead the way. Treville Frederick also out there, so this is their jumbo personnel group, sending the message. Willie Fritz, we heard fired up coming out of the halftime locker room, trying to drive it home here as the clock will tick down to the 2-minute mark. They don't got to take a snap.
Houston looking for a 9th win and a perfect road schedule. Baylor's rallied from 15 down to tie it, trying to punch their ticket to bowl season, to be decided in the final 2 minutes in Waco.
Welcome to the season of Yes and at Sam's Club. Say yes to this awesome basketball game. You know, for the kids. And to curbside pickup. Take it to the house! Just making sure it works. Say yes to amazing deals on 100-inch TVs and express delivery. Boys, put it right there. Sit down, fellas. This is based on a true story. Oh. Say yes to what you want this holiday and to the joy of Sam's Club.
We're back in the world of Harry Potter, where the best bakers compete to create enchanting showpieces. Let the baking and tasting begin.
All new Harry Potter Wizards of Baking tomorrow night at 8 on Food Network.
All 15 points so far in this 4th quarter belong to the Baylor Bears. They have rallied to tie it at 24 apiece, but Houston has gained 73 yards in 14 plays in 6.5 minutes. Mike, they're on the right hash and the 1.
And this is Connor Wigman territory. We've talked about his role in the run game. Nowhere does it become more pronounced as an advantage for the offense than down by the goal line. We saw him scoring the sneak earlier. See where they go here.
Houston looking for the go-ahead touchdown. There's a flag in the air as Connors puts it in. Dean Connors hammers it home for Houston. Will it stand? Connor Wigman says yes. He's got a sneak peek.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
A Dean Connors rushing touchdown from the 1 puts Houston on the high side.
Kept the jumbo package out there and said, we're going to be the hammer, not the nail, down by the goal line. You see right here, the guilty party lined up, hand even with the football. Great job by Caleb Thomas. We already mentioned Chance Bryant, the defensive player, leading up at fullback. It's an attitude play. It's a statement.
The all-important extra point is good, courtesy of Ethan Sanchez. And Houston now has a touchdown lead. Connors giving Houston confidence again.
So for Mom, I was thinking...
I thought she didn't want anything.
Well, like when she says she doesn't want any fries?
And she eats all her fries.
Exactly. What if we get her the new iPhone 17 Pro at AT&T? We can get their best deal without needing the most expensive plan.
Good call.
And you know, she loves her selfies.
Who's that?
No clue.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition. Most expensive plan not required.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Fanapt allopurinol is approved for adults with bipolar 1 disorder with acute mixed or manic episodes. Unlike some drugs for bipolar 1 disorder, nausea, vomiting, and restlessness are not common with Fanapt. Fanapt may be associated with serious side effects. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis treated with antipsychotics are at increased risk of stroke or death. Fanapt is not approved for elderly with dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Hey, Baker, what about killing that whole let Baker bake thing?
That's what I do. I bake.
You don't get it. A lot of people are saying that football is just selling food.
Hey, Baker, show the guys your new celebration.
Put it in the oven?
Yeah, put it in the oven.
No, Baker, don't put it in the oven.
Oh, I'm putting it in the oven.
Don't put it in the oven. No, don't shake off the heat. No, do not close the oven door. That's how the conspiracy theorists win.
Come on, nobody seriously thinks I'm out here selling
bread. When football makes you hungry, order Uber Eats.
Turbulent times here in Waco. Sawyer Robertson has been the steadying force on and off the field as his Bears have lost 4 of 5 after starting this season 4-2. Here they are on his senior day at McLean Stadium. With 1:57 to go, he needs to lead a touchdown drive to extend his career and to take the Bears to bowl season.
Couldn't ask for much more and couldn't ask for a better player to try and go out here and will his team to victory. With everything he has meant this season and more, here we go.
Cole Wilson will let it sail over his head, and we send it down for an update with Coy.
Yes, I have a wonderful update on running back Caden Knighton for Baylor, who we saw leaving the field with on the stretcher, his face mask off. He is in the hospital for testing, sitting up, alert, moving his extremities. So good news for him, his team, and all of the family and friends watching back home.
Everything we're about to say in this final 157 irrelevant compared to that. Thank you so much, Coy Wire. All 3 timeouts available for both head coaches. Joseph Dodd's offset right as Robertson begins his drive. Steps up in the pocket. He pushes vertical. That's complete! Already inside the 30 of Houston in the hands of Kobe Prentice. A 48-yard strike from Sawyer to Prentice.
Sawyer did a great job navigating that pocket, but watch Prentice on the back end. The route on the outside buys up one of the safeties. Does a great job tracking back at the top of that route. We got a ball game.
Robertson again hits the crosser. Prentice stutters at the 20 and is close to another first down. He settles for 9 on this catch. Kentrell Webb made the open field tackle.
Boy, how liberating for Robinson. That big play, it evaded them downfield most of the day. Here when it matters most.
Robertson spits it out. Prentice, 3 straight grabs. First down in the red zone for Baylor.
Plenty of time, all your timeouts in the pocket. And that looming decision, if you score, you think about going for 2 in the win.
Ready for a new first down with Dodds in his backfield. Robertson gesturing down the line of scrimmage. Claps for the snap. Moves his pocket. He flips it into space, incomplete. Josh Cameron was in the end zone. Earlier in this fourth quarter, he had what proved to be the tying touchdown after the 2-point conversion.
Had that based off the aggressiveness of Will James, who's been a lot deeper back on this drive. Houston's defense playing the end zone, trying to keep everything in front of them after that. But this front 7, we see another pressure look from the Cougs.
Hawkins leaping. He could not reel it in. Lost his helmet on the way. And in the final minute of regulation, it's 3rd down and 10.
Almost a highlight reel grab. Incredible jump. Got the foot down in bounds, but just couldn't hold on to the ball or his helmet. And now because of that, he's got to come off the field on this critical down. You wonder if Baylor would think about using a timeout to maybe get him back out there.
Understand the reaction from the home crowd. How is that not pass interference when the intended target loses his helmet before the ball arrives? Cougs creeping. 3rd down and 10 coming. Cameron isolated at the bottom of your screen. Will James in off coverage. Sawyer Robertson feeling the heat. To the end zone. Batted away, incomplete. No flags down. It's 4th down. Jaden Porter the target. Latrell McCutcheon Sr. with the pass breakup.
Robertson, I don't know how he got the ball back across. Incredible torque and on the money there. And boy, it's a bang-bang play. It looked like McCutcheon got there a little early. I'm kind of surprised they didn't throw that flag.
Now, this is not necessarily 4th in the game because of the timeouts remaining, Mike, but it feels like everything is in the balance for these Baylor Bears. Before Robertson can take the 4th down snap, Houston takes its first timeout. Or did Baylor?
Boy, that ball, and again, you say just behind. Robertson's rolling to his left, throwing back to his right. It's amazing it even got there. It's a bang-bang play, and quite honestly, JB, for most of the day, we've seen them let all the defensive backs play pretty physically across the board. So while it looked to me like there could have been DPI called there, it's been relatively consistent what we've seen most of the day.
As we initially stated, it was Houston critically with that timeout. So yes, Baylor needs to preserve all 3. They've reached the red zone again, which has defined their day for better and for worse.
And we go back and look at some of the missed opportunity. It starts off early drive here. RPO bounces off 2 helmets and into the waiting arms of Mark Stampley II. Then we had a hold that negated what would have been a Sawyer Robertson rushing touchdown earlier in the game. So points came off the board. Call those 4-point plays. Willie Fritz on the other side that turned 7-point shots into 3-point shots. There's been plenty of those here. Season on the line, you'd have to imagine. Josh Cameron's got to factor in this. Scored the touchdown to get them tied into the game. Out wide to the right.
Sawyer Robertson on 4th down, fading away from pressure. He's wrapped up, it's incomplete, and Houston takes over on downs.
We got some extracurriculars after the play.
Jalen Garner bearing down on the quarterback as they clean up the fracas. 43 seconds, 3 timeouts left for Baylor to utilize on defense.
Boy, Jay, we mentioned that Josh Cameron might be the place they go on this. And Houston, who got beat on that double move last time around, we see Eddie Walls working his way off field right now. Cameron, you're going to see 2 sets of eyes on him the entire time. Got him covered inside, outside, every which way. And you saw Robertson looking that way. And once he couldn't find him over there, that pressure got to him. Everyone else double teams on Cole Wilson, who's been a big player for them today. And then the pressure from Jalen Garner that turns in to the incompletion on the final play. Just a phenomenal call from Austin Armstrong, the defensive coordinator, double teaming 2 of their most important targets and having that pressure get home once that first read wasn't there for Robertson.
And so for Baylor now it becomes a must-have 3 and out, using your timeouts to preserve what's left of the 43 seconds. Houston looking for a first down to clinch it. Keep it in the hands of Wigman. There's first down, a yard, and timeout number 1 for Dave Aranda.
Baylor takes their first charge timeout of the half, 30 seconds in late.
Robertson hoping for one more crack at it.
Can't say enough good things about this Houston defense and the response we've seen at multiple junctures today from them, but nowhere more. Be at your best when your best is required. And for this group to go out there and quite honestly show something we hadn't seen much in those spots. We'd seen them let Will James live on an island with Josh Cameron, make some of those plays. And so all of a sudden, you know, we hear about that all the time. Steve Spagnuolo in the NFL always saves a great pitch for one of those critical moments. And how about Austin Armstrong? Young rising star as a defensive coordinator in this game, saving a great call and beating the opposing team in that chess match.
Connor Wigman next to Dean Connors, the 2 hammers for Houston. Connors just scored the go-ahead touchdown. They're looking for the 23-yard line and a first down. Wigman around the corner. Connors has the block. He's close. He's down in bounds. 30 seconds left. Second timeout for Baylor.
Baylor takes their second charge timeout of the half, 30 seconds in late.
Same thing we've seen from them. Quarterback toss around the perimeter. Jaquise Martin, this time the pin down block. Dean Connors leading up. It's the 4th time we've seen that today. Baylor stuffed it up once, but other than that, it's probably been the most consistent run we've seen Houston execute. Nothing better to call on in a big moment like that.
3rd down and short. First down wins it, Mike.
And who else would you want in the hands of Connor Wigman? We came in today talking about the banner day he had last week. 114 rushing yards last week to lead the team. It was a career high. He's sitting at 113 right now on 21 carries. What a great way to go over that could be.
With 2 more to go.
With 2 more needed.
Baylor down to its last timeout. Houston can cement it here. Connors offset right. Wigman takes the snap through the right side and finishes it with a first down. Another career best rushing performance for Connor Wigman, and Houston goes undefeated on the road in 2025.
What a statement. Going right back to the well, just flip the sides. You get the puller there, Mackenzie Agnello out on the perimeter, another block by Dean Connors. And your quarterback making the winning play there. Could have ran it more and padded the stats, but he knows it's time to go get into the best formation in football. Two tight diamond, victory kneel, and get to celebrating another road win for this Cougs team this season.
(31-24) the final.
This is the end of the fourth quarter.
It's a 9-win campaign for Houston and a chance to get to 10 in bowl season. Willie Fritz has the